Yeah.
No, there's something you want to talk about. That's just the last impressive negotiation tactics is something you do not want to talk about, correct?
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
No, I can hear you now.
Okay. The only thing you don't want to talk about is the impressive negotiation tactics you just did, right?
I can't hear you.
This.
No. DJ,
I'm busting your balls.
Yeah.
You fucking bastard.
Yeah, I'm the producer.
I hope you
I'm the producer. I can hear you.
You know what, Dustin? I hope after this interview, I hope you have explosive diarrhea. Like, I hope you just can't get off the toilet. Your wife's like, "What's wrong, baby?" I'm like, "Mighty curse me." Can't get off the toilet.
The voodoo.
The voodoo. Okay, well, I get it now. Okay, sounds good. All right, Michael, you let me know when we're ready to rock and roll. We'll bang this out. So just
so you're recording.
I'm about to hit. I got a 5-mile run after this.
Oh, gee. Well, I hope you have the squirts all down your legs.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Let me bang this bitch out. All right, in 3, 2, 1. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the MIGHTYcast. And my guest today, this man is a diamond in the rough, and this man is paid in full. Help me welcome Dustin Poirier, the diamond. Dustin, how you doing, my friend? First off, I apologize about being late. You know, my headphones and everything was not getting connected to the computer, so I apologize for being late. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. No problem, man. I'm good.
Good. Now, Dustin, it's been a long time. I think the last time I saw you in person was probably UFC 178 when you were taking on Conor McGregor. It's been that long. I know my wife and your wife mess each other every once in a while. She's wearing a cute outfit or whatnot, but I've been following your career. Been loving everything you've been doing. And man, like, how you been? How's the career? How's the life? How's everything?
Thanks, man. And same, bro. I've been a fan for a long time, and I've been watching your career. Salute, bro.
Hey,
the GOAT. Everything's good, man. Staying busy. I'm in a thick of training camp right now here in South Florida, preparing to fight Miami. The family's good. Business is good. Life's good, man.
Nice. That's what's up. Okay, let's go back to the beginning. So you first started your career out at 145, right? I mean, you fought. What?
Actually,
go on.
In the WC, I was 55. Then I had an opportunity whenever, we all merged over when Zufo bought. And I had a short notice opportunity to fight a really good guy at the time at 145. So that was my first cut, like to 45. My amateur career, like back in 2007, I fought at 170, my first fight ever.
Oh my goodness. So what's saying? So I didn't know if you fought, because I remember you fought at 145 before. A lot of times you see guys in their amateur career, like I fought at 125 as amateur. And then when I came up to the professional league, there was no 125. So I went 35. So I assume you see a lot of athletes, like they start out, if they ever drop lower as a professional, in my experience, like I know you fight at 145, you might have started your career at 145. When you get to the UFC or WEC, you're like, f it, I'm not going to cut that weight. I'm going to stay at 155. But so you started your career at 170.
Yeah, but it was like back in the day, like I wasn't cutting weight. I stepped on the scale. I think it was 168, and that was my like walking around weight, and I fought at 170.
And then now you're at 155. Sometimes you fought at biggest at UFC at 170. I could be wrong, right? Or no?
No. I fought. I don't know how many times at 145. I fought 2 times in WC at 55, and then the beginning of my UFC career at 145. More because I had an opportunity and I wasn't cutting that much weight at the beginning, and then I went back to 55 after I fought Conor on the same card as you. I switched back to 55.
Gotcha. Now, do you like what's the happy, sweet, medium spot for you? Because you've been jumping all around. What's that sweet spot for you?
Honestly, bro, if they had like a 60 or a 62, something like that, that would be a 62. That would be perfect.
Could you imagine? All right, ladies and gentlemen, Dustin Poirier steps on the scale. 162 pounds. Like, what? Why not 160? Why not 165? But he's saying that sweet spot is 162. I love that.
162. Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, man. Now, how long have you been competing for? Like, I feel like when we fought together at UFC 178, that was almost a decade ago, right? And you've already had, a very successful career at WC, where I was too. And now you're still competing at the highest level of the sport. And I feel it's got to be 18 years, because I started back in 2000 and I think I got in UFC 2011. So 2008, I believe. So how long is this, how long have you been doing this for?
17 years. Damn. Nonstop.
Damn. That's more than,
yeah.
That's more than, a kid's, educational, right? You took elementary, middle school, and high school. You're almost damn about to graduate from high school if you've done this for almost 18 years. How much longer, like, for you, what keeps you going? Like, for me, when I'm at this point in my career where it's like, okay, I feel like I've accomplished everything in mixed martial arts. And now I'm starting to traverse in this topography of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in the gi, because I haven't competed in jiu-jitsu competition since I was 18 years old. Now, 37, I'm like, okay, I can train 2 days a week, compete at a decent high level of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at brown belt level. I enjoy doing this more than trying to put, 8 weeks of a training camp and going out there fighting somebody. 1, for the health. 2, because I want to be around my family and the children more. And 3, it's just nice to not have the stress of just getting ready for a big competition. Like, for you, it seemed like a diamond's ready to go. You're still under pressure. People expect you to come out there and perform. Like, what keeps you going after 17 years?
The love of the game. I still enjoy the actual fight. It's when you've been doing it for this long, it's a love-hate at sometimes, but it's still like, it's, how it is, man. It's still in my, some mornings I love it, some mornings I hate it. And, but it's still in my blood. It's still something I want to do and something I'm still passionate about. I'm definitely towards the end. I don't know how many fights I have left, but I still feel good. I can still compete with these young guys. And, I still love fighting.
Do you think you transition after something else? Like, after you're done fighting professionally, do you think you're still going to do something that's competitive, like jiu-jitsu, boxing? I mean, once you stop mixed martial arts, I don't foresee you trying to take any more shots to the head or anything like that. Is there anything else competitive-wise that interests you besides mixed martial arts? I mean, I'm sure if you get it done back from Saudi Arabia, like, hey, we want you to come fight, Conor McGregor in boxing, whatever it may be, you probably accept that. But is there anything else besides hand-to-hand combat that interests you after you're done fighting?
Yeah, I like to dive deeper into the culinary world. That's something that I really enjoy doing, cooking and trying different foods and things like that. That's something that I really enjoy.
Now, let's talk about this cooking. Now, you got this delicious hot sauce that I have not tried it because you haven't sent me any of them. Let's talk about that hot sauce. How did this hot sauce come apart? Obviously, it's a passion of yours, the culinary. Let's talk about that. Where did this come from?
Look, after this interview, text me the address you want to ship to. I got you.
Sounds good.
The hot sauce was, I've been cooking my whole life, but the hot sauce was kind of a birth of COVID, man, being stuck in the house during the lockdown, couldn't leave. So I put things together, reached out to a couple guys that I know that I respected in the hot sauce game, and got a team together, started trying different recipes till we found the ones we really wanted to launch my hot sauce, and then launched it before the second Conor McGregor fight in Abu Dhabi. So we had been working on it for a long time.
Now, when you love to cook, so who cooks most of the time in the house?
Me.
Can your wife
for sure?
Can your wife cook?
A couple things she does well, but I do the cooking.
Okay. And now, when you're in training camp, obviously you're dieting. You want to keep healthy meals. Are you doing your meal preps and all that stuff too, or is it more of a passion of yours? Like, hey, you're in the kitchen. Like, for me, I love to wash dishes, but we got a dishwasher. Okay, so now I love to do laundry and load and unload a dishwasher. It's kind of like my my zen moment. It's kind of like my calm, and I collect my thoughts. I sit there, I talk to myself. Now, when you're cooking, is this kind of like your, obviously it's your passion, but obviously you're in training camp, so you're focused on grinding in the gym. Are you still cooking your diet meals, or is the cooking out of the question? You just focus on 1,000% of the training?
No, I'm making all my meal prep for the week or every 3 days and stuff like that. I'm still doing it all.
Wow, that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. And what's your favorite thing to cook?
When I'm home, like Louisiana food for sure, like gumbo, jambalaya, things like that. Cajun food.
And what's the one thing you hate to cook? Like you just despise it. You're like, I don't know why. I don't even know why I try this. Like why do I try to cook? Poultry or steak or pork.
The few times I've tried to make sushi myself, I'd rather just go somewhere and eat sushi instead of trying to make it at home.
Why?
That's one thing, but that's nothing really that I hate cooking. I like trying different stuff.
Gotcha. Okay. There's always I went out to dinner with my sister, my nieces and nephews, and she goes, I hate tomatoes. They're just, I don't know why they even exist. I look at their red, the way they smell, the way they taste. I just despise them. So I didn't know if there was something that Dustin hates to cook. He's like, I hate sushi. Like I don't know why. It's just, I just don't like the flavor. So I always like to ask people who have a passion for culinary.
Yeah, that's not. I can't think of one thing that I hate.
Well, that's good.
Nah, yeah.
Oh, that's what's up. Now let's shift back. Okay, so I think your battles with Conor, you guys have fought 3 times, and from those battles, I remember I was there the very first time when you guys fought UFC 178, and then I remember the second time you ended up knocking him out. Third time he breaks his leg or whatnot. That trilogy, do you feel? I feel like when Conor said it's a red paint night when you fight him, would you say that's true or not? Like obviously he's one of the biggest draws in the sport, right? Like with the pay-per-view buys and all that stuff. When you were able to, when you fought him and you knocked him out and you beat him the third time, was that the biggest, or you say fucking check you ever got in your life in combat sports?
Yeah, for sure.
Change your life. I'm so proud to hear it. And then you fought everybody. You fought Max Holloway. You fought Khabib. You fought Conor. You pretty much fought the who's who of the sport. And
I fought Max twice. Fought Khabib. Fought Conor 3 times. Fought Gaethje twice.
God damn.
Fought Eddie Alvarez twice.
God damn, my friend. Damn. You just keep on getting after, don't you? Oh my God.
Dude, and it's always these bangers too. It's always like fight of the night, crazy fights that I get to double down on.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not seen Dustin Poirier fight, obviously the athletes he just named, those are all banger fights. Even your fights in WC are bangers. Even the early days of UFC are all bangers. You always come out to fight, right? Like, is your initial background in mixed martial art, is it boxing? Because I feel like you love to box. Like I even did an impersonation of you pulling your shorts up, getting it down, getting the hands up, and start throwing the right hand, that left hook. What is your background that started you in combat?
Boxing.
Do you have any boxing? Do you have a boxing career, like an amateur or anything like that?
No, I never got my buddies I was coming up with at the time back in the day. They all had their amateur cards and boxed amateur. I never competed as a boxer. I would love to though.
So you went straight. So you trained you trained in a boxing gym, I'm assuming, right, in the very beginning.
Yeah.
And then you went straight to mixed martial arts. Why no boxing amateur?
Because I wanted to fight, but this is around the time like when the first Ultimate Fighter was really blowing up on Spike TV and MMA was really getting some traction. And I had wrestled when I was like 10, 11 years old. I wrestled when I was young. And I'm not sure. I met some guys who at a boxing gym who were training at striking, but they were MMA fighters. Didn't know they had MMA training where I was from. I kind of talked to them in the boxing gym and then went to their MMA gym a few weeks later. And I just never went back.
Damn. It's always, it's interesting because like I said, when you fight, it's like you box, but you have great calf kicks. Like you kick the legs pretty damn well, and you also check kicks, right? Like you just saw Super Leg versus Topuria, and you had the highest level of kickboxing, and Super Leg just destroyed his legs. And typically when you fight, you destroy people's legs with the calf kicks and the leg kicks, and then you have this clean boxing as well, and you've also have some pretty sick submissions as well. So I thought your background, you would have jumped right in straight into mixed martial arts from your overall completeness of the MMA game. But what really shines is the boxer. So I didn't know if you had an amateur in boxing or whatnot, a career in amateur boxing. So, damn, that's perfect. You say you want to do it after you're done? If you have the opportunity.
I mean, yeah, I always wanted to box. I got into combat sports thinking I was going to box, and I never got to. But we'll see. I've had a long career. I'm somewhere around 50 fights, MMA total.
Damn.
Amateur and pro. So we'll see. And I've been competing for a long time, bro. I was competing on the jiu-jitsu scene. When I was around 18, I started competing gi and no gi, all the way to purple belt. I competed often. And when fighting really took off and it was my main focus, I kind of stopped competing in jiu-jitsu. So that's a passion too. Put the gi back on. Might be something I do. I'm not sure. Taking it one day at a time.
I love that. Right now you're doing training. I know you, producer Michael, you guys were talking about training in American Top Team in Florida. And that's where your training camp is being done right now, right?
Yeah, I've been here at American Top Team in South Florida since 2012.
Okay, here's a question I'm gonna have to ask. My whole career, I've never trained at a super gym. What do I mean by super gym? You got Alex Pantoja, you got Adrian Moraes, you have Edson Barboza. I mean, you just have a gym full of killers, high level killers. What's it like training in a gym like that? For me, I train with guys who worked at Microsoft. One's a financial advisor, one's a wushu master. And it's got me to, world title fights and, a successful mixed martial arts career. I've never been in a gym where it's just full of killers. The only time I've actually trained with, killers at a high level is when I trained at Fight Ready with Henry Cejudo. But other than that, and I loved that. I absolutely loved it. How do you... how do you find that successful? Do you find it brings you more injuries? Do you find, it's nice to get different perspective and body types in the room? Like, how do you enjoy it? Like, do you enjoy it or what is it?
I enjoy it. I think everybody's different. I don't think there's any perfect recipe to make you a successful fighter. Everybody's different. Somebody might do it better from a small gym. Somebody might enjoy being a big gym. It just depends. But for me personally, getting to bounce information and stuff off of a room filled with guys with 30 plus pro fights. There's just a lot of knowledge on the mats at all times. And a place like American Top Team, man, it's kind of a revolving stable of fighters. Got some guys live there, so they're permanent stays. Every time I come down, they're on the mats. And then there's guys who are getting ready for fights who fly in. So there's always different faces, different bodies, different techniques being worked on. It's just a lot of information, and it's always changing. That's what I really like about it.
So it's like a revolving door. You see the same people all the time, but you always might get fresh faces coming in there. Now, with the American Top Team, do they have like a recovery station where sauna, cold therapy, red light therapy? What do they got going on down there?
In the gym itself, they do have a cold plunge in the locker room. They have a dry sauna in the locker room as well. And then just being in South Florida, there's so many professional teams and so many big MMA gyms, super gyms, you could say. There are a lot of places around here to go do recovery. It's easy to be healthy here in South Florida, man. It's health food and recovery places and gyms everywhere.
Now, do you think you will move full time to Florida? Like, I know you're based in Louisiana, correct?
Yeah.
Now, will you ever pack with the family, like, hey, we're moving to Florida. I love it out here. The weather's good. X, Y, and Z? Or will you, once you're done with your career, you'll move back to Louisiana and be there full time?
So I did that already. 2012, me and my wife packed up, moved here, and I lived here for 5 years, or a little bit over 5 years. And then when my daughter was born, we moved back home to Louisiana. And I sold my house and just started doing training camps where I would come down for 8-10 weeks, depending. But when it's all said and done, my home is Louisiana.
Love it. Love it. Now, do you have any recovery? What's your favorite way to recover from fights? Like a long ass career, right? So obviously you're 37? You have to be my age, 37, 36, 38, right?
35.
35? And you got that many years on you? Oh man, God bless you. Woo. Well, 35 years old, you're getting to, that threshold of your body doesn't recover the way it used to, right? Like
For sure.
Like when I was 26, man, I remember I fought and, you know, got a call, hey, you want to fight 3 weeks later in Vegas? Like, bet, I'm there, send the contract. Now it ain't like that. The recovery is a lot slower. I feel like mentally I'm in my prime because I see the sport differently. I break down fights constantly. I study all damn day long. But my body can't do, the recovery is not the same. For you, you've been doing this for a long time. So what are your favorite ways to recover? Are you a cold therapy guy? Are you sauna guy? Or are you just, you know, just old school, water and good love making and watching TV and chill? What is it?
Definitely old school. But
yeah.
sauna, stretch, take a day off, get a massage. That's the thing too. Like my whole career, I've always thought like my opponent or potential opponents are working harder than me, so I can't take a day off. I can't, you know, it was a mental battle for a long time. Now taking a day off, like being more of a mature fighter, I understand like that's not being lazy. That's work. I'm prioritizing a day where I let my body recover so I can show up mentally and physically wanting to train the next day. You know, after doing it this long, if I do 2 a days, my body carries those bumps and bruises. Like I'm sore, I'm hurt for longer than I used to, for sure. You know, like you said, when you're 26, you can train 2-3 times a day hard, wake up and do it again. As you get older, man, those things, you carry them around a lot longer. You don't recover the same.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that meant until I started feeling it. You know, I've heard fighters talk about it in the past, like I don't recover like I used to, but now I understand, man.
It breaks my heart because sometimes like you're in the gym. I remember the times when I'm 26, I'm like pop, 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 pop. And then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do it again tomorrow. And I'll just do crazy shit. And the last time I injured myself, I was going after my professor. He's like 195, 30-degree black belt, a national level of judo, like 15 years, I believe, in judo. And I'm always like visualizing, okay, how am I gonna get him? Like that is my goal, is to get him. That's what strives me to get better in the gi. And each time we're on the feet, he's always throwing me in the judo. And I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna wrestle this motherfucker. I got up, I took a shot at the king, and man, I fucking injured my rib, the cartilage. I tore it, and I just felt the paper just. And I was like, man, if I was 26, 27, I can do the same amount of speed and the scramble all damn day. Being 37, I tried. Oh man, I was so pissed. I was like, I don't know why I even try. Like, you're 195 pounds, 30-degree black belt. You know, my buddy goes, hey baby, sometimes you gotta take that shot at the king, and you know, this day you missed and you paid dearly for it. So I know what you mean, man. It pisses me off. It makes me sad.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. Those rib injuries too take forever to heal, man.
Yeah, it pisses me off because there's not a lot of blood flow there. So I've been trying to do the cold therapy and my cold plunge, ice barrel, and I try to do the sauna, get a lot of stretching in. And I mean, it feels great. I just started training yesterday. We did like some wrestling, some Shark Tank, and I taught jiu-jitsu and my kids' class in Brazilian jiu-jitsu. But it's just frustrating to, as we age, mentally we get sharper, we get more mature as an athlete, but it's like the recovery kind of leads us. Unless you're doing like, you know, peptides and you're cheating on steroids and all that shit, then, you know, you still have that, you know, that testosterone you had when you were a child. And it's frustrating. But it is what it is. How's a wife feel about you continuing to fight, right? I know Destiny, for me, she was like, I'm so happy you're home. Like, you know, obviously my in-laws are a lot older and they're having not health issues, but health complications, you could say, that they get some stuff done being at that age of, you know, 67, 68. And she's like, man, it's so nice for you to be home, right? Like if you're in training camp, you cannot be here. So how does a wife feel about you continuing to fight? And is she looking forward to you, you know, hanging him up, being home more? Because I'm sure when you're not in training camp, you're home, right? But that's 8 to 10 weeks.
Sure.
That's 8 to 10 weeks if you've gone. Obviously, you know, I've been there. I miss things. I miss birthdays. I miss promotions. I miss a lot of things. Is your wife looking forward to you hanging it up soon?
I'm sure, you know, she wants me around and I want to be around them. They're actually here with me now in South Florida. They're going to be here for 2 weeks. Yeah, they're going to be here for 2 weeks. I don't like to be away from my family for longer than 2 weeks. So, Yeah, it's been a long journey, and she's seen the grind, of fighting every day for the past however many years. So she knows it takes a toll on you, and fighting's a very selfish sport.
Yep.
You have to really focus on yourself, and like you said, miss things, but it's part of the game. It's given us everything we have, and it's given us opportunities and stuff like that. So it's just a balance, man. But yeah, being home with my family, being a father, running businesses back home is something that I want to be around and doing.
Now you said other businesses. What other business you got going on? Do you have a restaurant that you go there, you cook like Gordon Ramsay, and you're like, what the fuck is this? I told you, medium well, not well done. What other business are you running?
I would love to get into the restaurant business. But we have a wine market back in Louisiana called Marcelo's, and it's been around for a long time. That's one of the businesses I have back home. We just always been, we always have something going on, always busy, somewhere to be when I'm back home. So pushing all that stuff off for 8 weeks is tough. Like my to-do list, when I finally get back home and unpack my bags from training camp and from fight week, it's like I'm playing catch up for months. You know how it is. You're like,
no, I don't anymore. I don't anymore, because when I was fighting, I would say, we talked about this off record about like building your brand, right? Like, so when you go into training camp, you spend 8 to 10 weeks and you put everything on the back burner, the hot sauce, the culinary, the wine, whatever business you got going on. When I was in training camp, I didn't have none of that stuff. I wasn't so focused on building businesses and having something to do after I got done fighting. It was like I came home and I was like, I got to pressure wash the fence because HOA is getting on my butt. I got to pick up the weeds. And my wife's like, oh, you messed up, mowing the lawn. So I've never really got into building my brand until after, like right now, it's like the biggest time of my life where I'm focused on building my brand with the podcast, the YouTube, Zekin, Portable Consultants, Quantum Energy Squares. Now I'm filled. So yeah, when I do go out of town for, 2 days, I come home and I'm like, damn it, the laundry room. Damn it, the dishes. So for me, I don't know what that's like, when I come back home after 8 to 10 weeks, because I've always done all my training camps at my house. I've never traveled away from my family to do that. So when I get done with training camp, it's like, oh, I have 8 weeks. I'm a normal citizen, and I just wait by the phone and wait for the next phone call. So for you, it's playing catch up with everything. And how do you manage all that? Is there every time where you're frustrated, it's like, why am I fighting? I make more money not fighting and running these businesses. Or is it the opposite, where it's like you make the bulk of the money when you fight and you come home, hey, I'm going to put 10% in this, 10% in this, 40% in, the SEP IRA. What is it?
Yeah, for sure. Fighting has gave me my money,
Yeah.
All the other stuff is passion stuff, and it's income on the side and things that'll be around forever, and long-term, money making and things like that. But fighting has always been the main thing. But it is frustrating, sometimes overwhelming, when I get back home and I have a stack of to-dos that I've been putting off and people waiting on me to go to this meeting, that meeting, because besides the wine market, me and my wife and our board run the foundation full time. So we have to set goals, keep everything fine tuned there. I have a whiskey business. I have the hot sauce business. I have a seltzer water business called Hop Water. That's really doing well, that I'm a partner in. It's just a lot of hats to wear. It's a lot of things to juggle, especially when you're doing something as extreme as preparing for a fight in front of the world. Every fight's the most important fight. So you know how that is.
Yep.
It's just a lot. It's a lot. But for me personally, like, I have to stay busy like that. I have to stay in the trenches with the pressure and with business and things to do and places to be, or I go crazy. If I'm just living a civilian life with no pressure, dude, I'll go crazy.
Baby, that's why you diamond, because pressures make diamonds.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I have to be. I've said this before. Like, I have to be at war with something. If it's not a fight that's pending, it's a business thing, or making another move somewhere else in business. I have to be battling something always, bro.
Now, but who taught you that? Right? Like, when was that switch? Like, okay, you win, you make that money, you go back home. That's the typical, in my eyes. If you take, all the athletes in the world, kickboxing, Muay Thai, whatever it may be, they're more focused on winning the fights, which is the objective to win the fight, to win the game, football, whatever it may be. But there's like maybe 20%, maybe not even that. Maybe I'm going to go with 10% of fighters that after they win they fight, they go home like, okay, let's sit down. Let's talk about my brand. Let's talk about business. Let's talk about expanding something and building something after I've done fighting. I can reap the benefits from it, right? Because like as we know, maybe 40 is pushing it, 38, 39 is pushing it. After that, you have from 40 to 75 to 80 to 90, whatever it may be. That's a long life, right? So what was it for you where you got done fighting? Like, okay, I'm gonna get into my the hot sauce, the culinary. Obviously, it's a passion, but what pushed you to start doing business?
It kind of everything that I've done business wise kind of happened organically. Like, of course, I can't fight forever.
Yeah.
But it was things that I enjoyed doing or things that I was passionate about that kind of fell into a good spot where I was able to make a business decision or be a partner in a company and things like that. And just over the years of growing up and being around successful people and brands that I've aligned myself with, it just slowly happened. It wasn't like I sat back one day and said, okay, now it's time to start turning up the business. It slowly happened. One thing fell into place at a time over my fighting career. And that's just what it is now. It's kind of like, and in a weird way, it's all kind of like an ecosystem with fighting. Like my fights, I can promote things on the lead up to the fight. When I get back home, I can do things with the businesses coming off of fights. With my foundation, I can set goals, spread awareness through interviews and stuff leading up to fights. So they all kind of feed off of each other.
I love that. Let's talk about your foundation. I always feel when people start a foundation, it takes a special person, right? Because you are basically, you're out there. Like you're starting this cause and you are leading the charge for something you're passionate about. And let's talk about that foundation. How did this foundation come about and what does the foundation stand for?
Yes, the Good Fight Foundation. Me and my wife started it. Actually, we started doing charitable donations to things that were going on in my community before we had a foundation. We were doing it out of our own names. Like I'd auction off gloves or fight shorts from fights in the past, and then we donate the money to whatever was going on. But they had a big one where a police officer, Officer Middlebrook, got killed in the line of duty, a few blocks away from where me and my wife went to school growing up. And he left behind a wife and kids. So I sold some fight stuff I had then and donated it to his family. And then that was the real spark. We did it again, and I donated the money to a food drive place in Lafayette, Louisiana. Mm-hmm. And then the snowball kept getting bigger and bigger. Every time I'd auction off something and donate it back to the community, it got more traction. I was like, you know what? Instead of doing this and the newspaper articles back home saying Dustin Poirier does this, let's turn it into its own thing, give it its own identity. We'll call it the Good Fight Foundation. That way it takes it off of my name. Of course, I'm still involved with it. Of course, my name's still attached to it, but give it its own avenue and see how we can grow this thing and get other fighters behind it and just see what happens. And so we started the Good Fight in 2018 when I fought Justin Gaethje. And then since then, we've just been setting goals every year. We have a few things we do every year, like the backpack drive, Christmas presents for underprivileged kids, Thanksgiving drive for families in need. Those things are things we do yearly, but throughout the year, we set small goals, sometimes big goals, and just keep it going. It just depends on whatever's going on at the time.
I love that, man. I love that. I've seen you do so much amazing things for your charity and your foundation. And like, hey, I'm auctioning off these gloves. And other fighters, I think other fighters have auctioned off gloves or donated gloves to your foundation, correct?
Yeah, Max donated his gloves. Khabib donated a shirt after the fight. Eric Anders donated his shorts. Cub Swanson did as well. There's been a bunch of fighters over the past years that have helped out, donated fight-worn things that we've auctioned off and put it towards whatever goal we set for that fight. And it's been great, man. It's been great. And now, like, I saw last night, Simba is auctioning off his shorts for his village to help with cataracts. You know, that's incredible, man. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
We're fighting for something. Of course, we get in there. I'm fighting for me and my family first and foremost. You are as well. But if we can attach things to that or spread awareness and raise money, why not, man? It's our duty, bro. Leave the world a better place than you found it. That's if everybody had that mindset, things would be a little bit easier for some people.
Yeah, 1,000%. Yeah, my thing is I always love fighting for Seattle Children's Hospital. Anything I do, whether it's a gaming appearance or if I have to, and I have to, but when they're like, hey, you know, we're not able to pay you, but we're able to pay one of your favorite, you know, charities or foundation, I'm like, Seattle Children's Hospital. Just do it to the children because those, you know, when the children get, you know, obviously you have children, I have children, and I feel like when I've been around in the very early days of the UFC, I remember we used to do the trip to the hospital, like every year in Las Vegas, and just see the children who never got a fighting chance, like who get diagnosed with cancer or some rare type of disease. And it just broke my heart. I told UFC, I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I cannot come to this hospital and see these children because I have children of my own, and it doesn't put me, it's not mentally healthy for me. So from now on, like anything I do, any charity stuff, it goes to Seattle Children's Hospital because I try to give them a fighting chance to be able to, you know, help out however way it can. That's what I'd love to do. So shout out to you for, you know, starting this foundation for your city, the place you grew up in. And shout out to all the fighters who've donated to the Good Fight Foundation. That's what's up. All right, you're gonna make me fucking cry. Let me change gears real quick. Okay, all right, let's get back to the fight business. All right, so out of all the fights, who has been your favorite? What has been your favorite fight that you've done so far? Like, it could be the build-up, it could be you whooping his ass, it could be the check you got, it could be, what was it that, like, for me, I'll have to say it was probably my second, I'll probably have to say it was probably my second Adriano fight or probably the Ray Borg fight. Those are my two favorite fights. But for you, what is yours?
Man, I have a bunch of them that stick out, but probably knocking Connor out in Abu Dhabi.
Oh, I love it. I felt like that was like, you know, I like you and I like him. I like you because the way you carry yourself, you've always been true to character. You show up to fight every single time. You never miss weight. There's no bullshit. You get what you get. This is Dustin Poirier. You have Conor on the flip side where he has his antics. I love what he's done with the sport fight. I remember I was playing Counter-Strike. This is a video game. And I asked the person, like, man, you know who Conor McGregor is? And these are nerds, Dustin. These are people who do not watch sports at all. And he goes, of course I do. You think I've been living under a rock? Are you living under a rock? He's been able to transcend the sport and bring different eyeballs who haven't been able to be. And he's also been kind of a person who's like, hey, he made this money from the Floyd Mayweather fight. He's been able to do all the stuff with it. But those fights, when you guys have fought, I just enjoy it because you guys always bang. You guys are always going back and forth. Well, not really back and forth. You've been beating the bricks off him lately. And you make good money from it. So those are your two favorite. That second one is your favorite fight, or is it all three of them your favorite fights?
The second one.
The second one?
Yeah.
Now, do you guys see you would lock it up a fourth time, or do you think it's done after the third?
Man, I have no clue. I have no clue. I don't even know if this guy's going to fight again. We got to see. What's going to happen.
That is true. So how many more fights are you going to do after this? Like, you have a big fight coming up, right? I know you're in training camp. How are you feeling about it? And what are you looking at? So obviously, you know, you've been there before. You've been so close to the title. Interim champion, right? Now with this fight coming up, I don't know if it's a number one contender. Are you guaranteed a title shot after this? I'm sure in your point in career right now, you're not even worried about the title. You're just here for a good time. Put on amazing fights is what you do. How are you feeling right now about this?
I feel great. You know, I've never lost two fights in a row. So coming off of a loss, I feel like, you know, I got to right the ship. I got to get my hand raised in Miami in March. And then I've always done it this way, just taking it one fight at a time. Like when the smoke clears after March 9th, after UFC 299, then we reassess everything and see where we're at and what's going on. But still, you know, being the undisputed champ has been the ultimate goal all along. That's always been my goal.
And that's something obviously that's something you're still, I feel like sometimes, I feel your brand of which you've done so much for the sport of mixed martial arts. I feel this is me personally. You obviously have a different opinion. I feel if you never become champion, I still feel, obviously your career set, it's not, excuse me. Obviously your career is amazing. Your legacy isn't finished being written, but if you never become champion, right? It's kind of like your Wyatt Faber. He never became champion, and he's more popular than most of the champions at 135, right? I feel if you never become champion at 155, 170, whatever it may be, you're still going to be, you are a household name, right? They're like, man, Dustin Poirier, he was an interim champion. He never became, the undisputed champion, but this motherfucker, I fell in love with mixed martial arts because of this guy. Right? It's the same thing with Donald Cerrone. He never became champion, but he is a household name. People remember him he is going to be written in the history books, right? So for you, I feel like you don't need the belt, me personally, but for you, you feel different, correct?
Yeah, like I'm thankful for the journey and the career I've had, and that every time I fight, people know it's going to be a fight. Like I pride myself on that. But just checking that box, on my career, saying that I did it, that was always a goal. Like I even in my head, like if I can just win the belt, raise it up, be the undisputed champ, check that box, I've done everything that I've ever set out to be in this sport. My family is taken care of, my health is still intact, and I have a whole nother life after fighting to live. So checking that box was a big goal of mine.
Gotcha. Okay. I just sometimes I look over your illustrious career. I'm like, I think this is an athlete who doesn't need, because you've done so many great things to where I feel sometimes I understand as an athlete you want to get that check where it's like, boom, undisputed champion, right? And shit, you're on the path to try to get it. You know what I mean? And sometimes I always get conflicted. I'm like, man, does he really need to fight for the title? I mean, if sometimes not being a champion, you make the most money, right? Because there's times where I'm the champion, fucking CM Punk makes more money than me, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to be the champion anymore. I think I just want more money. That's the name of the game in my book where I'm at right now. So I don't know. I'm excited.
I mean, at the end of the day, we're prize fighters, and the prize has to be right.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so. What else you got coming up? Obviously, I don't want to hold you any much longer. I know you're in training camp. I know you got a 5-mile run after this interview. What else you got coming up besides the fighting? After this fight, you're going to get back home. You got businesses. You're going to send me some hot sauce. I hope you can send me some wine.
Gotcha.
Actually, I could buy some wine. Just let me know where I could buy some wine. What else you got coming up? This is your opportunity. Obviously, we'll get the producer, Micro, in here. He might have some questions for you. But what else do you want people to look forward to after this fight?
Follow along with the foundation, see what goals we set, and help us reach those goals, spread the word whenever we're raising money for things going on in the community. But other than that, man, being a dad, watching my daughter play soccer, watching her she's on competition cheer, so I got a lot of competitions when I get back home. Leading up to this fight, I miss my not miss my birthday. I didn't do anything for my birthday because I was prepping for the fight. My wife's birthday's coming up. So I'm looking forward to having like a double birthday trip or doing something fun, just getting back to living normal life. I kind of lock myself away whenever the fight's coming up.
Hey, happy belated birthday. If it was just me and you right now, I would have my piano and I'll play you happy birthday and sing it to you. I apologize. I don't have it. But happy belated birthday. Michael, what you got for my man?
Yeah, Dustin, I have a question about a title that you know very well, the BMF title, because at least for me, Gaethje Holloway might be the most excited I am for any fight that's coming up. UFC 300. What are your thoughts on, one, the BMF title, but two, your thoughts on that matchup, Gaethje versus Holloway? Because I think as a fan that I imagine Dustin Poirier loves watching those fights.
For sure, man. I'm excited about that fight. It's a fun fight. I fought both guys twice. I think Max has a better chance than a lot of people are giving him. Max is people think the weight's going to be a big difference, but Max is a big guy. He's not small. I wouldn't be surprised if he weighs the same as Gaethje. He's a big boy. And just the BMF title, going back to what you said, like that's a fun title that only a certain group of guys are able to compete for. That's like, I know some people don't like it. I like it. I think, you know, if you find yourself into that category of fighter that's even able to be considered to fight for a BMF, you know, people know you're a fan favorite. People know you're an exciting fighter. You leave it all out there. Those are the type of guys that would be able to challenge for a belt like that. It's just like another wrinkle. Of course, it's not the undisputed title, but it's a banner that means something to me. It's a fighter's fighter.
Yep. I wonder what the belt's made out of. Isn't it made out of some type of like material? Like, was it platinum? I remember like when they first showcased that belt, like Dana had the gloves on and he was like, "Ooh, don't touch it." Do you know what it's made out of?
I don't know. I don't have one. I would love to have the opportunity to tell you.
My bad. I mean it like that. You know, sometimes like
No.
yeah, I was like, hey, what's I'm fighting for? Can someone tell me what it's made out of or whatnot? So I just remember they showed it, and you're right. That is the only selected fighters who get to fight for that, right? There's no, you could beat no champion. I could be wrong. Has ever got the opportunity to fight for a BMF. Right, because like you said,
right? Yeah, I mean it's only been fought for twice.
Yeah, so it's a selected few that get the opportunity to fight for something like that. So that could be its own prestigious belt itself, right? Because obviously becoming champion, you could be the most boring fighter or whatever it may be and work your way up the ladder and then win the belt. Obviously, that is a prestigious thing too. But this is like hand selected, like the Gentleman's Club or. You know, it's its own or Men in Black. Only the few can get the fight for this belt. So that's a interesting way to look at it.
Yeah, that was my perspective on fighting for it. I was like, you know, this is special because to have your name in the hat, to be considered for this fight, you know, you must have had a long career. You must have put on great fights. Fans want to see you fight. And going back to the first one, George Masvidal, Nate Diaz fought for it. These are fighters.
Yep.
You know, these are every time they fight, I'm buying the pay-per-view. I'm watching. I'm not missing. Either time those guys fight, I'm not going to miss it. Same thing with Max. Same thing with Justin. So they need to keep it that way along the lineage of the belt. Like, keep those fights happening.
What if they let somebody fight for it? You're like, what the hell? Like, what if they? I'm trying to think of somebody who they let fight for it. You're like, what the hell's going on here? Why? Now you just took all the mystique away from. They should let like a badass grappler fight for it, where it's like he's gonna go out there, just pull guard and be like, da, fuck him up.
No, it has to be like a kill or be killed fighters. You know, the perfect match needs to happen, and this is one of them. You know, this is gonna be a crazy fight.
Yeah. I love how you said Max is not small. Like when I hung out with him, I was like, dude, how the hell you make more fun? He goes, hey, bruh, it's not easy, bruh, but I get it done, you know? I think I was out there when he was after he came back from Japan. I think he was like 175 or 180, I believe. And I was like, dude, you're fucking massive. And that's the thing when it comes to, like, how do you feel about weight cutting, right? Obviously, you start at 170. You know, you fight at 155, 170, depending on what's going on. Like, how do you feel about the weight cutting?
Honestly, it's like one of my least favorite things about fighting. But if you competed at your natural weight, you'd be so undersized. These guys are huge, man.
Yeah.
You know, these guys are huge. Like a few times in my UFC career, I was like, maybe I'll move up to 170, but then I'm at a super gym filled with a room full of 170s at this level of competition. I'm like, no, these guys I can't do it. You know, they're going to be 30 pounds heavier than me on fight night.
Yeah. That's the crazy thing, like with the whole weight, because now that I'm competing in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the weight class goes 141 or it goes 154. And I used to walk around like 142 and then I would fight 135. And so for me, after I got done, you know, I was like, okay, I'm going to try to pursue Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and the gi. I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to put some size on. So I started eating way more protein, way more calories, and I got up to 150. And everybody's like, man, why don't you go 141? I was like, I'm not cutting weight, and I'm not going to cut weight before my match and then wear my gi. So I'll have to cut like 137 because you weigh in your gi.
Yeah, you have to weigh in with the gi.
And then after that, you go right to fight. I'm like, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm 37 years old. I'm done. I'm not doing it. So I go up. And everybody's like, man, you're going to be fighting all those guys on steroids, and they're going to be coming down after you. And I'm like, hey, if my skills and if my skills and my speed and my cardio can't beat them, then it is what it is. So I can only imagine you being in a gym full of super athletes where they actually fight at 170. You're like, yep, I'm good. I'm going to go 155. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and then I'm even surrounded by 55ers who are a lot bigger than me, on the scale. So it is what it is.
All right. Well, Dustin, I don't want to keep you from that 5 mile run. Before we started this interview, I hope what I did say doesn't come true because I don't wish, that upon you. And Dustin, tell people where they can find you, man.
Dustin Poirier across social media, Instagram, Twitter. That's pretty much all I'm on is IG and Twitter, or X, not Twitter, X. My name, Dustin Poirier.
Boom. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is our guest. You can catch his fight in Miami, Florida. Make sure you don't miss it. The gentleman is going to put on another banger as always. I am your host, Demetrious Johnson, and my co-host, Michael Wandsworth. We appreciate you guys listening to this episode of the MIGHTYcast. And make sure you guys like and subscribe. And also hit the bell so you know when we go live again. Cheer. Well, damn. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We just got done with our guest, Dustin Poirier, and we're going to take a little recap of our reaction of the interview. One, what an absolute amazing human being, Dustin Poirier. I fought with him before on UFC 178, and that was a long, long, long time ago. And to see his career flourish the way that it has, from the Conor McGregor trilogy, as he said on the podcast, that was the most money he's ever made. Him battling, Eddie Alvarez twice, Max Holloway twice, Justin Gaethje twice. He's fought Khabib. I mean, this guy has fought the who's who. Obviously, we're looking forward to his fight coming up against Benoit on March 9th. It's going to be an interesting fight because I don't know much about Benoit, and I'm going to pull up his thing right here.
People could tell that you don't know much, that you're calling him what are you saying, Benoit? Benoit. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Benoit. Michael, there's so many damn fighters out there now. I just can't keep track. I just truly can't keep track. Benoit Saint Denis.
I'm gonna call him Saint Denis.
French
Benoit
name.
Saint Denis.
What I kind of want your take, DJ, because we weren't gonna ask him about it, but there's a lot of talk going into this fight, people thinking, oh, Dustin Poirier, he's more wants to fight like the legends, like the Michael Chandlers, the Conor McGregor. So when he accepted this fight, there was a lot of surprise from people of like, oh shit, like Poirier's actually fighting, a young guy, a 28-year-old in his prime, instead of going against those, BMF division, so to speak, as we talked about. So one, I want to say is, were you surprised that he accepted this fight? And what were your thoughts on that whole debacle of like the contract negotiations and all of that bullshit?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, Dustin Poirier, he said himself, he's a fighter's fight, right? He loves to fight. He's still in the game. He still enjoys it. He has that love-hate relationship, which I think every athlete has that love-hate relationship with any sport that they're doing, whether it's basketball, NHL, NFL, whatever it may be. But we love it so much, we want to keep on doing it. And for him to take on a guy who is 13-1, Benoit Saint Denis, it just shows right there that he's
Benoit Saint Denis.
There's a fucking S there, right? So, I'm gonna call it Benoit Saint. Benoit Saint. So since he's taking on Benoit Saint,
well, no, people call him BSDs.
BSD, I love that. Since he's taking on a young, hungry BSD who's 13-1 in his prime, it just shows that Dustin Poirier is not scared to take on the newcomers or fight one of the legends. And obviously, there was a little debacle with miscommunication with the UFC, his manager, and himself. Obviously, we all know what it is, right? I've been there before. End of the day, he is the draw. He is the A side. BSD is the B side. And if Dustin Poirier wants to get a little bit more of those demands for himself, then by God all means, he does what he needs to. And I think they came to an agreement. They sorted everything out. And now he's going to be fighting BSD on March 9th. I mean, it's going to be a tough fight. We don't know much about BSD, but the guy's 13-1. Obviously, he's legit in the UFC co-main event. Dustin Poirier, he always shows up. Dustin always shows up. He loves the pressure. He mentioned it in the podcast. He loves the pressure from business, the pressure from fighting, the pressure of preparing to go out there and compete. And I think Dustin's going to go out there and shine like a diamond.
Yeah, no, and I think it's very interesting because like almost part of me did want to see him go against one of those BMF kind of, like for example, one of the fights that was talked about was Nate Diaz, right?
Yeah.
If we had Nate Diaz come back and we had Nate Diaz, Dustin Poirier, UFC 300, I can definitely see that side of things, but I do think it's also part of our conversation and part of this interview was Dustin saying how important it was for him to win the lightweight title.
Yep.
So if that is truthfully a goal that he still has, no offense to Nate Diaz at all, an absolute legend, great career. But if he's fighting Nate Diaz versus Benoit Saint Denis, like, and your goal is still the lightweight title, there's obviously like no comparison there.
Yeah, I think if you want to get to title shot, I think you fight BSD. You know, Nate Diaz, absolute legend, like you said. Nate Diaz is wishy-washy. You don't know if he wants to fight. If he does want to fight, you got to go through negotiation tactics with him. You got to get him to fight. You got to show up. There's a lot more hoops and bounds to get through to get Nate in the ring than to get a guy who's a hungry contender, who wants to be there, who wants to fight, who wants to active, who wants to be world champion in BSD. I think this is the right step for Dustin Poirier to get that notch that he was talking about, is becoming the undisputed world champion in the lightweight division. And obviously, I think what sells more, obviously, for business would be Dustin Poirier versus Nate Diaz, because Nate Diaz is a huge draw. I mean, as I talked about household names, becoming a household name, you know, there's many ways to do it. One of them is to become a world champion and to put on amazing fights. But if you look at the long list of athletes who fought in the UFC, not just the UFC, just in mixed martial arts, Fedor Emelianenko, he's a household name. Mirko Cro Cop is a household name. Uriah Faber, Donald Cerrone, the list just goes on. Justin Gaethje is a household name. And all those guys I just named were never UFC champions, but they were so friendly, fan favorite when they would fight, that over time people became fans of their fighting style and their household names. Like, I can go to the gym now and say, hey, do you guys know who Donald Cerrone is? They're like, absolutely, he's amazing. It's the cowboy. You know who the California kid is? Yeah, it's Uriah Faber. But I can ask them, about, do you know who Carlos Newton is? They wouldn't know, because it obviously it's past his prime. It's not part of their scene, and he wasn't a champion that was a household name. You know what I mean? Like, if you go ask about Randy Couture or Vitor Belfort, who are those champions of those things, but they're also fan favorites. So I like the matchup. I think it's great. I mean, Dustin Poirier gives him opportunity to fight a young, hungry guy who's coming up the ladder, and hopefully with this win, it get him back on track to get a title shot.
Yeah, and also it pains me, but when we stopped shortly after recording on the interview, you had mentioned it to Poirier. You're like, what did you say to him when the interview ended about his hair?
Oh, I said, man, we need to talk about your beautiful hair. He's got great hair, man. If you look at it,
but my favorite part, I wish we were still rolling, that he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I shaved it though, and he takes off the hat, and you're just like, what? No. How dare you? You actually have a beautiful hairline, and then you should just go and shave your head.
Shame on him. Shame. I think it's funny. I think like the whole hair thing, it's a fun thing. Like, ladies and gentlemen, I enjoy being bald. I have no problem being bald. I just think it's funny. It's kind of like my little gimmick. My buddy, it's a kind of a gimmick for my buddy. For my friends who don't like to be bald. Like, I have a buddy whose name is Tony. I just did his podcast. It's called the Unscripted Arena. I did his podcast, and we're talking about his hair loss, and he said he misses it every day. And you look at guys like Floyd Mayweather, he's got a full line of hair, and I just find it funny. So when I see athletes who got beautiful hair like Sugar Sean O'Malley, we had him on the podcast. We talked about his hair, how he likes to do different things with it. So it's kind of a little fun and gimmick. So ladies and gentlemen, I do enjoy being bald, but could you imagine I fucking had a banging ass hairline, a low taper fade, and into this fucking gorgeous beard and a fro hawk? Shee.
No, yeah, and I guess one last thing I would say is what's something you learned about Dustin from the interview that you didn't know about him before talking to him today?
The biggest thing, being a professional athlete and now transitioning into this side of my career where I'm putting my foot on the brakes. I'm letting putting my foot on the brake and just kind of taking a step back from all the things I've done in my career as an athlete. And the one thing I wish I would have done was just build my brand a little bit more. Hearing him say that he's built his brand his whole entire career with the business, the wine, the culinary, the hot sauce, the foundation, all these amazing things he's been doing inside of his career. I feel like I am now just getting started. But there's a flip side to it where I've almost kind of been building my brand the whole entire time in my mixed martial arts career. I just haven't really dived into the business side of things, like invested in amazing companies like Quantum Energy Square, Zekin, Portable Consultant. The list just goes on, the things that I'm working on right now, or even my podcast or even the YouTube channel, right? Could you imagine if I was like on my 8th consecutive title defense and we have the podcast going on? Like, would I be focused enough to do all of these things? You know what I mean? So that was one of the things I learned about him. I thought he just had the hot sauce business going on, but he's got a wine business, the whiskey business. He's got so many different things going on. And it's just absolutely to hear that he's got all those things going on, man. So it makes me happy to see that he has all these things going on. And ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys checking out this podcast. It was very fun. Thank you to our guest, Dustin Poirier, for giving us this time before his fight. I know he's in training camp. He's away from his wife and his kids. And I appreciate you. If you guys like this kind of reaction way of like a recapping of the show, let us know. And then we will do a different segment outside of the actual show and give you guys our thoughts on the show, because I actually kind of like doing this, right? Because, I go upstairs, I talk to Destiny, I'm like, hey, she goes, how's the guest? I thought, oh, it was great. I know, found out so much more about Dustin, even Sean O'Malley. I mean, even Tyron Woodley. Like, we learned so much about these guests. We only get to see when the athletes fight. We don't actually get to have a chance to sit down and talk to them and ask the questions that we want to ask. So if you guys like this segment of the reaction of the MIGHTYcast of our guests, please leave a like and a comment and let us know, and we will make a complete different segment for this for you guys, because we appreciate you guys and we wouldn't be here with you guys. You guys have made MIGHTYcast so successful, and me and Michael enjoy doing it, and we love going out there and getting the best guests for the best podcast. We out. How was that?
I was like flicking off the camera. No. Yeah, that was good.
You dick. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the MIGHTYcast. The guest today is a good friend of mine, Max Holloway. We fought on a couple cards together. Been following his career for a very, very long time. People don't realize Max has been in the game. When he was very young, he became a world champion, defended the belt twice, beat the likes of Jose Aldo. I mean, the list just goes on. The people he's fought, Dustin Poirier, multiple times. Now he's getting ready to fight Justin Gaethje for the BMF. So the podcast got started off a little bit differently because me and him have actually hung out before and are good people. We're a good company or whatnot. So hope you enjoy this podcast, and make sure you guys like, subscribe, and also hit the bell to know when we go live. We just jumped right into it, and there was no, kind of formal introduction. So hope you guys enjoy it. Hang on. All right, in 3, 2, 1. What you talking about? You talking about the one championship?
The one championship Muay Thai tournament, Muay Thai thing.
That, man, I ain't fighting. Could you imagine me fighting like Super Lake or what is it? Sanchai or Tower Chai?
So this is it. As you're gonna get, you can get like a yellow card, right? You slam these guys on their head one time, and just be like, "Oh shit, I forgot. I thought we was doing MMA," And just make sure the slam counts, though,
I mean, I could, but nah, man. Those guys in Muay Thai, they're so brutal. Like, Rotang is nasty. Just to stand up with those guys in Muay Thai, nah, I'm good.
How was that, bro? I never got to talk to you. How was that? How was that fight with Rotang? How did you feel in there?
It felt good. Obviously he hits super, super hard. Like, when he hit me, it felt like I was fighting Dotson. Dotson was the only other person who's hit me that hard. And I think I enjoyed the training a lot more because we just did a lot more Muay Thai sparring. And then once it went to, the MMA rounds, he had no wrestling, no sprawl. It's such, jiu-jitsu. So it's super easy. But I could see, I think in my younger years, I think I've been okay with doing more Muay Thai fights in the bigger gloves. I'm not a big fan of the Muay Thai fights in the smaller gloves just because you could break your hands. I'm shocked you don't break your hands as much as you be throwing the fucking things. Like you'd be like, come on, let's go.
Brother, that we had this thing called XMA before when I was coming up, like right when I was an amateur before I was turning pro in Hawaii, and that's what it was. It was just stand-up fights with MMA gloves. So, and when I saw one doing it, I was like, holy shit, Hawaii was ahead of its time. It was doing this for a minute.
So you started out with just doing stand-up and mixed, well, it's not mixed martial arts, but you just started with stand-up with MMA gloves.
I couldn't do it. I wasn't 18 yet. I was still 16, 17, so we couldn't put on the MMA gloves, but a bunch of guys is doing it coming up to Hawaii.
That's so interesting. Like I've talked to multiple people, Robert Whitaker, Tim, you're the third person that I've talked to who said that they could not do any MMA fighting whatsoever until they're 18.
Yeah.
And is that just like, was that how it was on the whole island, like on Honolulu or on all the islands?
I think so. On all the Hawaiian Islands, I think you had to be 18 to get to use MMA gloves or whatever. The most thing we did, I don't know if you ever heard of it, the triple threat match. You ever heard of triple threat match? Mm-mm. It was like a switch from kickboxing into MMA. So the first round would be kickboxing. The second round would be boxing with takedowns, and the last one would be grappling. Oh, this would be with like 10 or 16 ounce gloves on, like boxing gloves on. So that was the closest we could get to MMA. And then I think so now some of these guys are doing like pancreation, but it was like you had to be 17. But I wasn't around when it was 17. Like there was like you had to wait to use 18 to fight
What
MMA.
is it now?
I think.
What's it now?
I think so. I see 17-year-old kids with MMA gloves here and there, but then when they go to the ground, there's no strikes. But when you use the MMA gloves,
gotcha.
There's no strikes.
See, that's crazy because in Washington State, I think I've seen kids like fucking 15 years old fighting in MMA, like as an amateur. It's like
10-year-old kids. I don't know where it was. I don't know if it was in Washington State, but the two kids that was doing it, I was like, these kids are next level.
There was probably somewhere in Russia. There was somewhere in Russia, like, don't worry about it, boys. Just fight.
Crazy.
Okay. Well, Max, it's been so long, man. Always good to catch up with you. How's life? How's the wife? How's Rush? How's everybody doing?
Everything is going good, bro. Everything's going good. The wife's good. Rush is good. We just living, we're getting ready for this 300 card. So that's the first thing in mind. And just chilling, bro. How you been? I know you've been a busy man. You've been taking over this YouTube game, brother. Some of your backyard fights breakdowns is the best thing I ever watch. It's hilarious.
Dude, the street beef stuff, man. Oh man, it is hilarious. It's good stuff, like I never thought I'd be getting into that, but then once my community started sending it more to me, and I actually enjoyed it, and I was like, hey, some of these guys actually doing some things that are pretty good. And
actually pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, and some have gone off and done amateur fights and done very well. And you can just see, I like doing it because you see how like powerful grappling is against somebody who has no form of grappling whatsoever. And that was the thing that kind of sparked my interest in breaking those fights down. And then it just evolved into, breaking down your fights, breaking down, my fights, everybody's fights in the professional level. And it's been pretty fun.
And I was still waiting for you to do my fighting style. I want to see you break it down. I see you do everybody else's. I was like, brother, do I have to comment? Do I have to wait? I was like, I'm just going to wait that time to get mine.
Yours is next, baby. Yours is next. You're up,
I love to hear.
You got, UFC 300, which was a huge matchup, shocking matchup. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was taking a dog out and she was out there pooping, and I saw it as like Max Holloway versus Justin Gaethje. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, okay, this is a banger. How did that come about? Because for me, I feel like you're next in line for the featherweight strap against Ilia Topuria. Right? But now you're going off doing a side quest, a side mission, as we call it, where you're going to capture the BMF belt. And if you capture this, you'll be the only and first person to ever hold both belts. You've been featherweight champion, undisputed, and then you'll be the undisputed baddest motherfucker of all time if you hold these belts. Nobody else has done it. Justin Gaethje's never been a champion. Jorge Masvidal's never been a champion. You have the first opportunity. As Joseph Benavidez would say it, you could be the George Washington.
I love you guys, man. You guys are awesome. But, yeah, the BMF is cool and all, but I was just more excited about the matchup with Justin Gaethje, and everybody keeps saying, "Oh, look at what you're doing, this title shot and blah blah blah." Brother, you know how this game is. You know the way UFC won or whatever. It's like, am I really the next guy up? Was I really the next guy in the stuff? Like everybody's like, "Oh yeah." If we look at the rankings, yes, I should be the next. I believe I should get the next title shot. But at the end of the day, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. Yep. Look, look at the flyweight title right now. They got the number 10 guy fighting the number 1 guy. When there is I manages him. I'm gonna butcher his name. So I'm not gonna say his name because I'm terrible at Russian names. But he's undefeated. He's like on a 6-fight win streak or something, and like he's not getting the title shot. So at the end of the day, everybody and then everything going with the Benil stuff, like, where's his title shot? You know what I mean? Like, what like, you can't tell me what I'm doing makes no sense. You know what I mean, bro? Like, because at the end of the day, anybody can help. Justin Gaethje was next, right? And then his title shot got stopped because of the whole cut with freaking old boy Oliveira. And then now Dustin had his fight like that, and now Dustin's gonna fight for the title. They're saying. So it's like, bro, this game just, it changes like on the dime, and everybody's like, oh, you should be fighting Ilia and Ilia. My mindset was, if Ilia won, how do you not give Alex a direct rematch? No matter what it is, the knockout or a decision, whatever it is, Alex did the body of work to get a direct rematch, brother. And that's what I felt. So I felt if Ilia won, and my chance of getting the title shot was against Ilia. So at the end of the day, if he was going to win, I was like, brother, I'm probably going to have to sit out another year, because if he does win, Volk would want a rematch, and they'll probably wait a little while for a rematch. And then the way it went, of course, I was thinking like, oh, he got knocked out. We see what happens. Volk is saying he want to be at the end of the year. Ilia is saying that he wants Spain. All the main card, all the pay-per-view cards, all the way to like, I think September is not announced. So it's like, it looks like it'd probably be September if they really do go to Spain. So at the end of the day, bro, it is what it is. And then Justin was like, what's Justin going to wait? You know what I mean? Like I see a lot of people talking about it. I saw Islam talk about like, oh, this fight makes no sense and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, brother, I mean, you should have fought Justin in February. Why did the guy you knock out turn around so fast to fight in February when you were healthy? You should have turned around and came February. Everybody know you can't fight in Ramadan, and that's what come they couldn't do the fight in on 300 with the Leon or whatever, or he couldn't get another fight. But he's like complaining like, I can't get fights. I'm like, because you're only fighting around the times that you want to fight. It's not you can't get fights. You're just not taking the fights that are offered because of certain things are going on. If he really wanted to fight, I thought he would have turned around and fought in February. It made no sense to make the guy who just got a brutal knockout or a brutal KO to turn around and fight in February. So a lot of people is giving me stuff like, you're wasting your time, this and that, and I just had to remind them, I don't know if you ever watched the movie Troy, but you just got to tell them, that's why no one's going to remember your guy's name. At the end of the day, this is what we do,
Hit him with the line. Yeah, I think, I don't see it as you wasting your time, because you're going down as one of the best featherweights of all time as a champion, right? You beat Jose Aldo twice. I actually watched that fight almost every Monday and Wednesday, because it's on the UFC Fit Gym of you knocking him out. It's like your debut when you beat up Cub Swanson, when you beat Jose Aldo both times. And I think this is a good opportunity for you to, like you said, submit your name in history with winning the BMF belt.
And against a guy against a guy who's everybody's scared of. I'm like, brother, we're all human. And everybody's like, oh, the only way to beat Justin, you got to get him out of there. But what if that's not the only way? You know what I mean? What if that's not the only way? What if I go out there and I love Chael Sonnen, brother. I love Chael Sonnen. You know, Chael Sonnen is I think he's a big lover of me because every time I never see one bad video he made of me, brother. And I watch his videos and I love the way he talks because he's like he's intrigued from the fight because like, what if Max go out there and do something that no one else did? You know what I mean? And I'm like, that's my mindset. You know, everybody's like, oh, he's too powerful, this and that. But like everybody keep forgetting, Mighty. Like I keep on reminding people that you're only as good as your last fight, right? Right?
Yep.
So, you know, when you went over to one and you got your loss, everybody was like, he's done. Mighty's done. Yep. Mighty's this. Mighty that.
He was never fucking good.
You came back and what happened? You had to remind people. But at the end of the day, a lot of these fans, a lot of our fans or MMA fans, it's this American fans actually. A lot of this American fans the fan base is so used to watching seasons. You know what I mean? So like, so you got a football season, you got basketball season, you got whatever, tennis, whatever, even soccer. You know, like I always tell people like if LeBron James go out there, shoots 20 shots and miss 20 shots on Wednesday, guess what? On Friday, and he's like, you suck. You're not the GOAT. You was never him. Friday, 2 days later, he has a game again, and then he goes 10 for 10. With 20 assists, 10 rebounds, blah blah. You're the greatest of all time, you know. Like you're only as good as your last fight. When we fight, we can't fight. You know, you don't have multiple nights in a fight. Sometimes you do. Some fights do, whatever. But like in all actuality, when you fight, and then you fight like 2 months if you're lucky. But it's normally 4 to 6 months later. So 4 to 6 months, that thing is cooking. And if you had a terrible thing happen, it's cooking, and it's like, bro, you suck and whatever, and like, you know, people on the social media, bro, they just they come after you, you know, they think they got a voice and they think they can say this, they think they know everything about you, you know what I mean? I'm sure you get harassed, like, you know, after long days of training, I'm on my stream and they're like, brother, why are you training? You think Gaethje's playing games? I'm like, I think Gaethje is doing a lot more other stuff. So, you know what I mean? Like, I don't, you know, like last time I checked, Gaethje got a life too. He loves fishing and barbecuing and doing all that kind of stuff. Just because he's not live streaming it doesn't mean he's not doing it, you know? So, you know, at the end of the day, these guys don't understand, you know, they're so used to having people be able to rebound quick. You know, these other sports they're so blessed because they're so like, you know, baseball, you get striked out one game, 2 days later, you can hit 3 home runs and everybody's going to forget about the strikeouts, you know? So it's just tough. It's tough for us MMA fighters, I think. And a lot of people are going to be like, oh, this sounds like you make excuses or whatever. I'm like, bro, at the end of the day, you need thick skin. You need thick skin to be a fighter, brother. This is the worst sport. Everybody telling me like, oh, is your son going to be a fighter? I was like, hell, I hope not. I don't want him to fight. You know how it sucks to get punched in the face and then you gotta cut weight and then the main thing is like even time. You know how much time I gotta spend away? Like I don't live close to the gym. You know, like my gym is like 45 minutes away from me. You know, damn. Like 35 to 45 minutes away. And then Hawaii is known for traffic, so most of that time it turns to like an hour. So like at the end of the day, it's like I'm like in the car for like 2 hours or more out of the day. So it's like, yeah, I'm here. I come home. I see my wife then, but then I got other obligations that I got to do. So it's like I do that. And then by the time I get to actually chill, it's like only a little bit. And then I'm tired. And I just want to go take a nap or go to rest, you know. So and then the sacrifice is a sacrifice. You know, a lot of you guys don't see it, but it's just fuel to the fire, bro. You know, I'm excited for April 13th, Justin Gaethje, and to just, you know, remind the world, you know, I haven't been here. Everybody keep forgetting. You know, it's always, bro, it's always like, who's next? Or this guy is this and this guy is that. You know, this whole Ilia talk. A lot of people are just harassing me like, oh my God, he's gonna kill Max. Don't give him that or whatever and blah, blah. I'm like, brother, when I was Ilia's age, I think I had like a title defense already. Or I was fighting for like 3 titles. You know what I mean? Like, oh, if I can tell me shit, you know, this guy, like, oh, cool. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I've been there and I've had 3 title fights. You know what I mean? So it's like, at the end of the day, like, just, you know, calm down, bro. When the time comes and the time is right and it happens, it's gonna happen, and I look forward to that. But first things first is it's Justin Gaethje, and like I said, bro, every time someone gets in the fight with him, it looked like they got out of a car wreck. So hopefully I can go in there. I'll go in there clean. I know it's gonna be a tough fight. Get out as clean as I can, and win in a very different way.
Yeah, no, I love that mindset, and you're right. The mixed martial arts fans, they do have a very short-term memory. And as you said, we only get to fight maybe once, twice a year, 3 times if you're healthy, lucky, right? Especially as a champion, you're at that point where you're fighting champion caliber athletes. And they do forget that you've already been a champion. You've already fought the best of us. You've already defended the belt against one of the GOATs of featherweight division, Jose Aldo. Right? And so I think you having a mindset like, hey, I'm going to fight Justin Gaethje and Ilia Topuria and whoever the hell he's going to fight next. He can do whatever that's going to be. And you're right. The game passes up.
Don't wait for no one.
Right? People are like, oh, you're number one contender. Okay. It's like Michael Chandler versus Conor McGregor, right? Chandler is going to sit there forever to wait for Conor McGregor to come back. And I'm like, dude, like, one, are you waiting for him because the payday's going to be good? Or, 2, like, why him? Do you not want to be the champion? It's very interesting. So for you to have the mindset to be like, fuck it, the belt's going to come. It's going to come. But right now, I got Justin Gaethje. This is a huge opportunity. I'm not wasting my time. I've cemented my name as one of the baddest mans on the planet. I already got the featherweight strap. Let me see if I get this and move forward. And I think that's a good mindset to have. And I did not know your gym is that far. I understand what you mean because my gym is like an hour and a half. Not hour and a half, but hour away, plus traffic's by hour 15. You lose 2.5 hours every single day.
In your car.
Just driving.
Your back is sore.
Yeah. Your back is sore. And now that like I have a gym that's close to like 8 minutes away, it's like mind blowing at how much more time I'm home with the kids and the wife, have so much more time to do other things around the house like laundry, dishes, backyard cleaning shit up. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. Okay, so we went over that. I was just shocked. I was shocked that the fight's happening because it's a banger fight. It came out of nowhere, right? Like sometimes when I'm always watching your fights, always been a big fan. When that fight got matched up, I was like, this is fucking sick. Now, when you came out, I saw something that you're saying you're putting the weight on the correct way. You're not just putting weight on. What do you mean by that? Because I felt last time I saw you, which was in Hawaii, you were around like 190 and you just came home from Japan. What do you walk around at? And how much weight did you put on? And what do you mean by you put on the right weight, the right time?
Yeah, I know. Everybody keeps saying about like I don't know if you saw that picture. Of me and Stipe? Yeah. So I let everybody guess, you know what I mean? Like everybody, I said 205, but let the mind wanders. I don't like telling too much people my weight because they're like, oh, you're so big, your weight. I'm like, bro, come on, like relax. There's a lot more people doing a lot more crazy things than me. But at the end of the day, I put it at like my freaking Tim. I don't know if you ever met Tim. Did you ever met Tim? My new agent, Tim Simpson. I
don't think so.
Well, Tim, he's my new agent, and I mean, if you go look at the Dustin, like pull this up for you when you make a YouTube video. Pull this up and put his picture. There's a picture. Just type in Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier 2, and there's a picture of me getting like cracked from like Dustin, and it looks like I have like a muffin top, brother. Like that's what I mean. I'm putting on good weight, brother. I'm not gonna have a muffin top against Dustin Gaethje. I mean, the Dustin Poirier fight was 6 weeks, and it was big, and I think we put on a little bit of muscle for this weight just because I just wanted to, and just because we had, and I could eat. Like now, like when I'm going to 45, I eat pretty good. I don't go crazy. Like I know some people just do like chicken and salad and stuff. Like that's insane to me. I still eat carbs. I eat carbs all the way to fight week. Like brother, fight week. Yeah, PI is like the UFC PI always like. Charles is the man. Shout out to the head man, the head honcho over there at the PI, Charles, because like whenever a new guy comes in and he's not there, and I'm like, oh, I need rice, and they're like, they're not giving me rice. Charles is like, bro, give the man whatever rice he wants. I was like, bro, I never did miss weight. Just give me rice. I'm still training this week. Like I'm still training like I'm normally training. So I love carbs, but yeah, I mean the weight the right way is just my body's gonna feel better. I'm putting on weight. I'm feeling strong. Like I said, the Poirier fight, everybody's like, oh, the Poirier fight this, Poirier fight that. Like I only had 6 weeks from that, and like I was coming off of like just chilling, you know what I mean, straight up the couch, 6 weeks, and then it was like we got to like 6 weeks is not even a fight camp, you know, like we usually do like 10 weeks, you know.
Yeah, especially if you're just coming off the couch, right?
I wasn't even training. I was like, enjoy. This is time, like, you know, you enjoy. You win some stuff. I don't know what happened before the Poirier fight, but I know it was something where something was going on, and I was not in the gym. I was just chilling. I was like, bro, this is so good. Life is so great, you know, and eating whatever I could, and you know, and then opportunities like that come up. But like, how do you say no? You know, how do you say no? Like I tell everybody, like even with the Gaethje fight, like how do you say no to this fight? It doesn't, like, I understand some people need time, and we do need a certain amount of time to get ready for fights, correct? But then there comes a point where it's just a competitive nature, even about weight and stuff. Like I tell everybody, in the Roman days, you know, the gladiators, when they go to, like, they compare us to gladiators, correct? And did you hear any gladiator walking around with his scale being like, holy gosh, you're freaking 2 kilos heavier than me, we cannot fight, you know, or you're 0.5 kilos heavier than me, we're not going to take this, you know? So at the end of the day, that's just my thought. I know it takes a certain mind of business to do certain stuff, but if you believe in yourself, man, you can achieve a lot of things. So, you know, at the end of the day, the whole weight talk is just about putting on the right weight, eating good, eating clean. I've been eating. This is the best I've been eating, bro, for a minute. I know. Shout out to my beautiful wife. She cooks me the best food ever, bro. Before, when I was, you know, single and stuff, I was just eating out and doing whatever I could.
Hot pockets, pizza time.
I needed chicken. I was eating dino-shaped chicken nuggets, bro. So life was good.
Oh, I love that. Well, see, that's the thing that people don't realize. Like when you took, like from what I'm hearing, when you took that Dustin fight, the second one, there's a point in time when athletes got to sit back and relax. I call it being a normal citizen.
Yes.
Right? Because when we're both in the middle of training camp, it's all we're thinking about. It's training, fighting, sleep, drinking the right fluids, and eating the right food. But then when we put that stuff aside and we're like, dude, it's 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to I'm gonna have pancakes, and then I might have a mimosa, and then I'm gonna go watch TV. Then after that, I was like, you know, I'm gonna go have a beer. You live in Hawaii, I'm gonna go surf. I'm just gonna chill. Like that's the good life. That's good life. And you get a phone call. Hey, you want to fight 6 weeks? Yeah, shit, why not, brother? I'll do it. Yeah. And then you're like, then you come and you're like, oh fuck, I got a muffin top. Everybody's making fun of me. It's like you're just trying to enjoy life, right? So I'm happy this, you know, you going up, putting the weight on the right way, eating, because I know when you make that weight cut to 145, it's a lot of, I'm going to call it a struggle, but you do take away some of the stuff your body needs to grow, right? Because essentially you're losing a lot of muscle, right? But now that you can be like, fuck it, I'm going to eat good. I'm going to eat good. I'm going to train good. And I'm going to look good.
And feel good, you know? Like even in training camp, you just feel great, you know? Like some days after going to 45, certain hard days is like shit, you know? You got to stick to a certain regimen because, you know, you got to hit numbers at certain times. Now it's like I'm training and I'm like, man, I'm kind of sore, and I know I got a big day tomorrow. I'm going to, you know, I carb load, I load up on food, I load up on the right things, and, you know, and then even cheat days, like I got cheat days when I'm going to 45, but cheat days here is a little bit different. Oh, we got 55. You know?
He's like, he said cheat days are every day, baby.
We got a couple more of them for sure.
Oh, that's what's up. Are you doing any surfing?
Nah, bro, I haven't surfed. My son been surfing. I haven't surfed. Me and my wife been. She been injured. She been like just hurting herself, like little stuff around the house, like twist her ankle, whatever. So we've been out the water. But I need to. I need to. I mean, when I was when we fought the cater and I did that punches, but I was surfing like almost as much as you could because I was during, you know, the COVID era, and the only thing you could do was to go to the ocean and be able to go in the ocean and like go surfing and stuff. So I need to get back. You know, we got like 3 weeks. Waves are coming up. Waves are finally on our side of the island because it's winter. So I need to get back in there.
Gotcha. You will. Okay, let's transition. I want to talk about gaming, man. I know you've been streaming on Twitch. How's that been going for you? What games you playing now, and what's been keeping you excited about, you know, still streaming on Twitch?
Yeah, brother. I'm over on Kick now. I got to deal with Kick.
Are you? Oh shit, my bad, babe. I'm bad. Sorry.
I'm over at Kick now, and I'm loving it, bro. I'm loving it. I just been playing Apex, bro. I've been playing Apex, and then here and there I do stake US. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people, I know a lot of people, they're like, oh, this and that, gambling, whatever. It's like, bro, it's a social gamble.
That's good.
It's a social gamble site, and don't be stupid. Like, bro, you literally can play with you go and get this thing called gold coins, and it's like you can't do nothing with it. So it's like playing at Fun Factory, you know what I mean? So it's like just play the numbers, whatever, and then there is this thing called stake cash that you can redeem. That's a whole other thing, but it's just something that I like doing on the side, playing, and it's always funny talking to the chat and just talking to people, you know, and seeing people. And a lot of people trip out and they're like, "Oh man, I never knew you're a DGen like me. You're doing these slots or whatever." I'm like, brother, it's fun, you know. I always tell people, don't play with something that, like, don't try to make a life earning off of this. This is something that you do on the fun, you know, the fun side. And then I'm on Apex Legends right now, bro. I'm playing Apex Legends.
You've been playing that for a minute.
This season is super fun, bro. I think it's season 20. Season 20 we're on now. Bro, it's so much fun, but cheaters is just everywhere, bro. It's kind of heartbreaking.
You can't get away from the cheaters in mixed martial arts. You got USADA try to clean up. They can't clean up everything. Well, USADA's gone now.
Yeah, bro, I just got talking about that. I just got the new our new stuff with the UFC. We got the new thing, right? And like I was seeing it, like you see the paper, you see the site, and then, like, they never got some of the champions, right? They didn't get some of the champions yet. And then I post some freaking fire content of me looking big and stuff, and all of a sudden they're knocking at my doorstep. They showed up. I was like, yeah, coincidence? I think not, brother. But you know, I'm clean. I'm clean as a whistle, bro. I don't give a shit. You want to know what I'm taking? I'm taking creatine and amino acids, brother. So life's good.
Yeah. Well, me, you were talking about that too. I can't remember who said it. It was like, why don't they let the athletes take steroids? Because, you know, in jiu-jitsu, it's very big, right? Like I want to talk to Gordon Ryan about. I want to talk to Craig Jones about taking steroids in jiu-jitsu. It's very big. It's very acceptable. You know, ADCC says, hey, we're not going to test. You guys do whatever you're going to do. And I remember me and you on Twitter were like, why can't you guys just do it normal? Like, if genetically your body is going to give out, you're not going to produce as much testosterone. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Right. Like I told myself, if I can't keep up with the younger athletes, then that's a sign of it's time for me to, you know, move on in life. But there's some people out there who need it for, you know, medical reasons, I guess you could say. But, you know, when I've never understood that. And that's why I want to ask those guys in the jiu-jitsu competition and the jiu-jitsu culture, because there's some guys out there like the Rotolo brothers, Mikey Misimichi, like they're like, nah, like we're clean. Like we don't take any drugs. We want to keep this sport clean. Because, you know, for my kids, if they look up at somebody, because they do jiu-jitsu, if they look at like a guy who is on steroids and they're going to think that the only way they can achieve it, it's acceptable, and the only way they're going to be able to achieve that form of athletic ability or I could say championship level, they have to take steroids. Where you have guys where I've never done it, you've never done it, and we've achieved that championship level and been successful in the career. So I can't wait to pick somebody's brain about like, oh yeah, man, it's good, man. I just take this and this and it feels great, and you should do it too. And I'm like, but why? Why don't you just not take it and just see what you can do? It's a very interesting conversation.
Yeah, I think it is, bro. And you're going to be a greater man than me in that conversation, because at the end of the day, I mean, like, hey,
what do you mean? What do you mean I'm being a greater man? I don't understand. What do you mean?
Super fair and like trying to hear their outcome. And when medical reasons, I understand, but it's like, competition wise, like really, like, and especially, I don't condone it in any sport, but you know, if you're doing it in baseball, like, brother, you're hitting a ball with a bat, you still gotta hit the ball. You know what I mean? Like you still gotta hit the ball. You know what I mean? But like, if you do it in a contact sport like a football, or you know, even like jiu-jitsu and MMA or soccer, because you used to run into people, right? Like, or hockey. Yeah. It's like, this is insane, brother. Like, you can potentially kill this man. You know what I mean? Like, what if you're so worried out, you're choking someone out and you bust their freaking clavicle or something, or whatever in their throat, and they're you're gone.
Yeah.
You know, like that's my mindset. Like if you medically need it, then don't do sports. You can't do sports because you medically need this to just go on with your normal average day. Like, don't do it. But, you know, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Everybody got their own decisions. And I just think so. Just because the sports that we do is so dangerous already, and you're adding performance enhancing to like, that you know it's going to get you to a level that you may never ever achieve. It's insane to me. You know, it's like the same thing with like, with people thinking like, certain stuff like, oh, I never took steroids, but I took something like it's stood banned, but it's like I took something where it just makes me recover faster.
Peptides.
Yeah, like, or make me recover faster. I'm like, yeah, but that's straight cheating, brother. Because if you're normal, if you're a normal guy, and that's why they take it away, right? Because it's banned because of this, because you're getting a edge of recovering faster, or your testosterone is coming back. So it just makes no sense to me.
So then I guess their argument would be, well, you take creatine, that's supposed to help you recovery and keep more water into your muscles, essentially.
Yeah.
What would be your counter to that?
I'd be like, creatine is something that is not freaking banned, brother. There's a list. Creatine and amino acids. And when I'm taking this, you know, like I know some guys take pills or whatever it is, or rubs or whatever. It's like, this thing is not fucking, like, it's not helping my fucking testosterone. It's not straight being like, oh, this is straight to help your testosterone. It's just help to keep my muscles, you know, more water. You know, one of these guys is just, I don't know. It's just, it's insane. And if you're doing like the testosterone replacement or something, like, brother, like, come on.
Yeah. No, it's interesting because like,
it's crazy.
I started taking creatine. Like I never took creatine. I started taking it and I was like, oh my God. I was like, my muscles have so much water in them. I don't get tired. It's like, I could just keep on going and going, to where before I would never take, cause I had to cut to 125. But now that I'm trying to put size on, it's like, oh, this is fucking amazing.
Good, yeah.
And everybody's like, yeah. Dude,
you need to take that gross thing is I sweat so much, bro. I hate sweating. Like I hate it, bro. I sweat so much, bro. It's so gross. And sometimes like even like, when you're doing like circuit lifts or something, you're so sweaty, you got to grab stuff and like shit is slipping out your hand. I'm like, bro, this is disgusting. I'm like, I don't know people like sweating. Only time I like sweating is night before weigh-ins. Like, this is great. This is amazing, you know? Just keep leaving my body, please.
That's the only time, the best time when you want to sweat. I agree with that. So now when you've also came out and said that you don't spar anymore, right? Like I love that you don't spar anymore, but I find it very hard to be able to, I feel like some people can do it and some people can't, right? Like for me, I don't spar unless I'm getting ready for a fight.
Exactly.
If I don't have a contract signed or anything like that, I'm not sparring. Ain't nobody punching me in the face. But you don't spar regardless of going up to fight. I'm sure you probably do light pity pat sparring, but you're not doing any hard, banger rounds, right?
So, I mean, all I'm going to say is like when I'm outside of camp, I might do like a hard spar here and there but it's not, it's like maybe like once every like 2 or 3 months. It's like, or cause we got some like boxers too, some great boxers on the island, right? So like I go in there like, and just be like, oh yeah, I want to spar hard. I want to see how it is. I want to see some of these boxers, or I just have it like right off the couch. I'm like, brother, I want to see what it looks like if something happens. You know what I mean? Like, we just gotta, you stay ready. You know what I mean?
Wait. You said, so you're telling me you might be on the couch with you and your wife and your son Rush, like, you haven't trained in 6 weeks, like, nah, fuck it. I need to see what it feels like. All right, boys, let's go to the gym and get it in.
We got this team on here that they spar like every a certain day, and I'm like, I just hit up one of the boys in the gym, like, hey, you guys sparring today? Like, okay, shoot. Like, I just like, that's literally what it is. Like, I'm with my wife there, man, just thinking, and I started like, we're watching a movie, bro, and you literally explained that. We're watching a movie, and then it's like the day before, and I'm like, man, I gotta get to the gym, you know what I mean? Like, and then I just text one of the boys from the gym, like, hey, boys, you guys sparring tomorrow? Okay, cool. I'll see you guys tomorrow. What time is it? Like, I always ask them what time. So
you're fucking wild, man.
But it's serious. It's not all the time. It's like once, like a month. But for this camp, I think they're going to use it in the promo and the countdown. And I think it's going to be amazing because, like, this camp, you're fighting Justin Gaethje, something's got to change. So,
of course.
So, like,
you know what I mean? So
you're
going to have more of that, like, hey, Well, y'all spar. All right, I'm on the way. Bye.
Yeah,
You probably just go to strangers too.
Without giving away too much, just tune into the countdown is gonna be amazing, and it's here and there. You know, a lot of people's like, you're so crazy, don't spar, blah blah. But I'm like, brother, I started when I was 16, right?
Yes.
I started when I was 16 kickboxing, bro, and we sparred every day. You know, and it wasn't hard. You know what I mean? It was like kind of like technique wise, whatever, this and that. And then at the end of the week was hard. But then, you know, that pity patty stuff, some days it's not pity patty, brother. You know, like you come in there with a mood or somebody else feeling some type of way, you catch someone or you get caught. You know, I'm to this day, sometimes I'm doing like drills and stuff. And if I get caught and I feel like, wow, that's pretty disrespectful. I'm gonna throw something back. You know what I mean? Like, you know, we're all fighters, we're all humans. So it's like sometimes the pity patty turns a little bit more, and then you just shake hands after and be like, you know what? You know, it is what it is. So it's just funny, you know. But at the end of the day, I everybody keep telling me, oh, this and that. Even with gaethje coming up and how much I get hit and this and that and blah blah blah. It's like, brother, yeah, I get hit in the fight, but like, I think I'm able to take certain hits in fights because now we backtracked on not getting hit. You know, most guys get hit in camp and they get knocked out and they get hurt by training partners. You know what I mean? And you see these, and especially when you're younger. And don't get me wrong, when you're younger, I think coming up at a certain age, you need that. You need to know to be like, oh, if you hurt your hand in sparring, or if you get hurt in a fight or whatever, like you need certain situations where you can go back. You know, like that's how I tell a lot of these people coming up. It's like, oh, what is the main thing you tell an amateur or somebody who wants to come pro? I was like, brother, compete as much as you can. Compete sick, compete hurt, compete after breaking up with your girl. You know what I mean? Compete in a heartbreak, compete fighting with your family, you know, like compete after arguing with your coaches. Like, you need to do this stuff because if it never happens and say everything been perfect and you get your title fight, you know, you're fighting for the UFC or the one title shot, whatever it is, and those things happen, and you can't go back to a moment in your mind and be like, oh, I've been here, you know, like, bro, when I was an amateur kickboxer, I fought sick, I fought hurt, I fought heavier weight classes, I fought whatever. You just fight as any amateur. Shit don't count. You know what I mean? This shit don't count. Yeah. You could go 0-100 as an amateur. You know what I mean? Or you could be like, even like Jack Dilla. Jack Dilla was 0-2 as a pro. Now he's on a 17-fight win streak. You know what I mean? It's just, it's not how you start the race, it's how you finish, bro. So at the end of the day, just go get experience. The main thing I tell people is like, go get experience, guys. Fight with like I see some of these amateurs nowadays like, oh, I need a 8-week camp. I'm like, brother,
what?
Brother, I'll fight tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like I was tripping out because like I after high school I moved to Iowa for a little while. Iowa, a little bit Kristen, Iowa, a little bit like an hour away from Des Moines, Iowa, right? And then I was fighting. I was in 17. I wasn't even 18 yet, but I could, like, you fight. I was just lying on my age to fight MMA, and I fought a guy, bro. No joke. His record is like 50 and 10 or something, right? MMA, and I was like, how the hell he fought so much? You know, like I had a lot of kickboxing fights already. You know what I mean? Like I had like more like 100 kickboxing fights or something. Like nobody knows because we just fought every week at one time in Hawaii. Like there's so much events and you could do it. But then, yeah, he had 50. I was like, bro, how the hell this guy fought so much? It's like, there's a bar where you just show up, you weigh in, and you fight anyone that day, bro. And you get to choose boxing, kickboxing, or MMA. And that's what the guy did. Wow. So I was like, bro, like this guy got to fight everybody. He got to fight a drunk guy, probably got to fight good guys, probably got to fight shitty guys. You know what I mean? So like, that's what they said, bro. They said like, it could be anybody, and you just weigh in, you guys agree, you guys touch gloves, you guys fight it, and you guys hug it out, go share a beer after. I was like, what the hell? That's insane. But that's the main thing coming up. I'll tell people, bro, just get your experience up because like experience is key. You know, a lot of these guys, everybody, and that's what I tell everybody is like the only difference whenever I tell people coming up, the only difference between you and that guy in the UFC is that he's in the UFC. And the only difference between the guys in the UFC, the top 15, is experience. And the top 15 to top 10, experience. 5 to top 10, experience. The champion and the top 5 guys, it's just experience. You know, it's like no one's like we're at a level. I keep telling everybody, like, you know how to punch, you know how to block, you know how to dip your head, you know how to defend a takedown, get a takedown, Now it's just who's gonna impose their will or their game plan on the other person, and that comes with experience, you know. So that's the main thing I'll tell people: this experience is key.
Yeah, I think you hit it right on the nail. I think the culture now in mixed martial arts that I feel from when you're coming up and I was coming up, granted I'm a little bit older than you, is yes, amateurs now are like, oh, I'm in training camp. I got 8-week training camp for amateur fight. And I was like, 8-week camp for amateur fight? I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, what you ain't getting paid? It's like, exactly. And then one of the guys was like, oh yeah, watch this guy I'm fighting as an amateur. I'm watching his video. I'm like, why are you watching video? This is the time for you to just focus on you and fight people that you have no idea who you're fighting. This is the time you go out there and you test the curriculum. You go out there, you find the distance, you find the range, you find out what he's good at. You try to stay with who he's good at. But you don't need to start watching tape now as an amateur. You're 6-1 or 6-2, whatever it may be. Don't watch tape. Get as many fights as you can. I remember when I was an amateur, it's like, hey, I'm doing mixed martial arts. A month later, it's kickboxing. Back to MMA, doing jiu-jitsu tournament. Back to Muay Thai, jiu-jitsu tournament. Boxing, shoot boxing, MMA, and never watched tape, not once. Then once I became a pro, I had to start watching tape, and I hated it. I was like,
thank
great.
you said that, because I hate tape. I hate watching tape today, bro. Everybody asked me, like, bro, like the first part in my UFC, I didn't watch tape. And was lucky. You know what? It was lucky. It was just lucky because most of the guys I was fighting was guys I watched in WEC already. So it's like, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I don't watch tape, but I watched these guys fight before. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I never thought I had to watch tape. I thought that was a coach job. You know what I mean? Like, and the coaches go do that. They see what they see, and then I started getting to the point where, like, frick, I gotta watch tape just in case I feel like I can do something and I can ask them. They'll be like, hey, look, I saw this. You think this works? Because this is what I do. And that's it. You know, that's the info. But bro, like you said, bro, I hate watching tape, bro. I was just like, I was blessed. I was blessed just watching fights, and these guys that I watched fight, it was like, oh, look, I'm fighting this guy now. I know what this guy do, you know? So at the end of the day, that's that, bro. An amateur watching tape is crazy, bro. They get so much, like, I just, the main thing I tell a lot of amateur guys or anybody coming up is like, brother, everybody tells me I'm crazy, bro, for saying this, but I say MMA is such an easy sport, and then they're like, no, it's not. You gotta do this.
Oh,
you gotta do this.
finally.
I'm like, brother, MMA is so simple. It's almost like black and white, brother. You know what I mean? Like, you won't do this. This is gonna happen, and this is the only couple things that could happen in this situation. And they're like, oh, it's so hard. I was like, the training aspect, yeah, hard on your body, yes, mental grind, yes. But it's not that hard. You're making it harder. And sometimes, like, I tell them, like, sometimes MMA is not the prettiest sport. You know what I mean? Like some of the, like, when you see, you know, like great strikers, you know, like, Izzy, you know what I mean? With Sean, Izzy and Sean Strickland, for example, right? Like, Izzy striking is like, he's so perfect. He's so used to being so perfect. Sometimes you got a guy like Sean, he just make it ugly. Sometimes you just make it ugly and you can win in an MMA fight. Not always the best guy on paper is going to win, because sometimes you can go in there and make it ugly. Like, even, like, you know, an example for my stuff is me and Jose Aldo. Jose Aldo on paper, pound for pound, would if you look at stats and whatever, and you put it next to my stats, everybody would probably be like, "Holy shit, why are they even matched up?" Or how athletic is, you know?
I'm gonna stop you right there. No. The first time you fought Max, first time you fought Jose, you were whooping him. Then the second time you fought, you did something different. Do you know what that is?
No, you gotta tell me. I want to see.
You started throwing body kicks, and you started fighting in the clinch, and you started making it nastier. Yeah, okay. Like, you were, I knew the first time.
I knew what we doing. I wanted to see what you were gonna say, Mighty. You need to stop breaking down fights, bro. What the fuck is it? I thought he was my friend, bro. What the hell?
No. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Like, I was like, okay, I remember the first time you guys fought, you were pop, and then you were good. You were longer. You would jab, and he would try to counter, and you go 1, 2, and 2, and follow back up, because you had that range advantage. And then the second time you fought, once you started throwing that body kick, and you started kneeing him, I was like, oh, he's fucked.
Yeah,
and everybody around me was white, and I was like, yeah, you slew him down. You stop his momentum. Those body kicks, even though he checks him, he still absorbs it. And then right when you start doing that, I was like, oh, Max got him. You had him the first time, and then you even had his number the second time. So continue. So go on, my friend. I wouldn't stop you there.
But sometimes you just gotta sometimes a lot of these guys in MMA coming up, they just think they got to be perfect. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I got to be perfect. My technique got to be perfect. And I always tell them, like, brother, it doesn't. You know what I mean? You can get it. It's just a mixed martial arts, bro. You can get away with it. And sometimes, brother, you're going to have to make it ugly. This is what it is. But MMA, and everybody laughed at me when I said, bro, MMA is the easiest sport. Even other sports would be like, you wouldn't say this to nobody. Brother, MMA is one of the easiest sports. You know what? You know who make MMA hard? The person. The person, bro. The person you're talking about.
You're like, you're making it hard.
And like, I just actually had this talk with one of our amis that's coming up, and he's laughing. I was like, brother, I'm serious. You're just thinking too much. You're overthinking it. It's easy. Yeah. You go out there, you punch, you know how to block a punch, you know certain counters, do it. And if you can impose it on his will, then go and take that man's will, you know?
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I mean, I completely understand what you say about MMA is the easiest sport. I tell everybody all the time, mixed martial arts is the easiest sport to become a world champion. They're like, no, it's not. I'm like, yes, it is. I was like, how many people have come into mixed martial arts and only have one good art form and become a world champion? I can name a plethora of them. I mean, Randy Couture, Joanna Jacek,
Brock Lesnar.
I mean, Brock Lesnar, Frank Mir, right? Like, and the reason why I say that is like, if I was to try to become a world champion in boxing, you have to be good at fucking boxing. You cannot suck at boxing. If I want to be a world champion in golf, you cannot suck ass at golf. You become a world champion in mixed martial arts and absolutely suck dog shit at jiu-jitsu. You could have no curriculum whatsoever and just be better boxer. I just keep knocking people out. Keep knocking people out.
Takedown, you know what I mean? Like all you.
Defend a takedown. That's all. That's all you have to do. So, like you said, mixed martial arts is the easy sport because if you have one game and you're very, 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 very good at that game, and nobody can take you out of that game, then it's the easiest sport. So yes, you're right. You are making it complicated. Then if you come against somebody who's well-rounded, like myself, then it's like, okay, well, I can't.
That's when it gets harder. You know, it gets harder, but that's when it gets harder. But then at the end of the day, and overall, to it, like you're saying, it gets harder, but it's really not. You know what I mean? Like I try to tell people, like you're really not. And like they think I'm crazy, bro. They think I'm insane. I'm like, brother,
I think it's also because you're, once again, like you said, it's about the experience.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you've had so many kickboxing matches, so you know what it is. You've had so many MMA fights, you know what it is. So, okay, I'm either, if I control the distance and the range, you have to come and get me, or I'm gonna come get you. So that comes from the kickboxing experience, the grappling experience. You've done the triple threat matches, I'm assuming, in Hawaii. So you've had your grappling exchanges. So you've covered all your bases. Where now you can look back and be like, oh, well, this is easy.
And the main thing, bro, that a lot of people keep, you know, like you can be the best technique, be the best guy in the world, and be the best guy in the world, whatever, right? But if you don't have the mental is the toughest thing, especially it's not in MMA. MMA, I think so. Like I said, you gotta be a bit different, of course. But then at any high level, you know what I mean, you gotta have that mental. Like a lot of people just they wilt or they quit. You know what I mean? And if you're a quitter in regular life, my guy, sports and especially MMA is not for you, bro. You know, it's like, you're going to have to deal with the bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to have to put it on and you're going to have to push through. Like, I tell everybody all the time, bro, this is a mental game, bro. This is a mental game. Yep. You know, like, sometimes, you know, even just like with the Aldo fight, you know what I mean? It's like, to me, it was just, I think Aldo tripped out when we was in Rio and I was putting my hands up in front of his face. Like, holy shit. It's like, who the hell, if I was Aldo, I'd be like, who the hell did this kid think he is? He's in Rio. He's doing this to me. This is insane. And then that mentally, that takes out of someone, you know? So at the end of the day, it's an also big mental game. So, you know, keep your mental game strong in here. And the main thing is like, don't be afraid to ask for help. You know what I mean? We're all human beings. You know, a lot of us MMA fighters, or even the amateurs coming up, they get this facade of thinking like, oh, we got to be strong all the time, or whatever. Like, no, you don't have to be strong all the time. You know, sometimes, you know, your wife can be there and talk to them. Your friends can be there. Like, reach out to someone, just talk to them about stuff and say stuff. You know, like, I mean, you see Poirier after his last fight, he was going through some things after his last fight with Gaethje, and he reached out and he went to go talk to a therapist, he said. So, like, at the end of the day, like, if these guys, stone cold killers, need therapists? I'm pretty sure, you know, a lot of you guys are gonna need therapists. Don't be scared to talk to someone.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. Like once my sister passed and I started getting more in touch with my feelings and how I felt, and when I would talk to Matt about like my frustrations about fighting and being smaller, it made my game go to a different level. Because I'm like, I tell Matt, I'm like, I'm so fucking tired of trying to cross this distance. I call it the void. I'm so sick and tired of it. And he goes, well, you don't have to get there ASAP, DJ. Like, you can take your time. You have 25 minutes. And I'm like, yeah, I know that, but you always on my fucking back like a monkey. You just keep on beating on your boy. Let me, and it'll be funny because I'll be getting ready for my fight. I'm like, Matt, let me fucking cook, okay? I got 25 minutes with this motherfucker. Let me cook him up and I'll get him out of there. And he goes, okay, I'll let you cook. But once I see the dish ain't like, get it prepared the way I want it, I'm gonna step in and start making some adjustments. I'm like, fine. But I agree with you, man. Once you start like talking and speaking on your emotions, like it took my game to a whole new level. And yeah, and I think a lot of amateurs need to do that too. Don't try to be so cock strong.
Yeah,
just
talk and ask. You know what I mean? Like I tell all the guys that I train, brother, you got any questions, ask me. The stupid question is the question that's not asked. You know what I mean? Like that's it. Like I tell them all the time.
Okay, so the shoe game. I've seen you show up to press conference with some bangers of shoes, right? And I see the shoes in the back. What's your favorite one? Why are you in the shoes? I just recently got into shoes. My wife was like, babe, when we first got there, I had like 2 pairs of shoes. She goes, babe, you need more shoes. I'm like, girl, I only got fucking 2 feet. I only need 2 pairs of shoes. She goes, babe, you're going to wear the soles out of the damn shoes. So now I just got my first pair of Jordan 1s. I love Jordan 4s. I got some red bottoms, but the Jordan 1s are super comfortable, and the Jordan 4s are like my favorite shoes. They're amazing. What's your go-to?
Brother, my favorite shoes is Jordan 1s, bro. I think Jordan 1s. Jordan 1s you can almost get any colorway with it, right? That's the sick thing, right? And then the Jordan 11s is always cool. That's what that was they're made for, like, you know, to ball at the park with the boys at 6, and then go on a date with your girl at 9, you know what I mean? That's what those 11s was for, Concord. So it's nice. But brother, you should really, if you like comfortable shoes, bro. Comfortable shoes is freaking fear of gods, bro. If you can get a Nike fear of gods, bro, it's they look crazy, but they're so comfortable, bro. They are one of the most comfortable shoes ever.
You're talking about fear of god, like the essentials, right?
Yeah, the Nike fear of gods. Their collab.
Okay. I'll take a look at that.
It's like right there, and they got like cool colors, bro. They got sick colors. You love
them. Okay. Yeah, I just started getting into the shoe game, and I saw, I just like the colorways and just the different styles. And now that I have multiple pairs of shoes, it's like, wow, these shoes still feel brand new. They're not like worn, and the sole's not worn down and whatnot. Like my wife, she got so many fucking shoes. Like, these show up. I'm like, how many shoes you need? I was like, don't worry about my swag, okay? You have no swag. You're starting to build it up, but I have swag. I am fashion, baby. I'm like, okay, all right, here we go.
Awesome. He sounds awesome, brother. He sounds awesome. You should. Okay. My wife tells me I need to get rid of shoes. She's like, get the hell rid of your shoes. What are you doing? So I gotta go give some shoes away here and there, but I get it. Cause some shoes still have like the tag on them, bro. I'm like, because then, COVID happened, and then, like, we couldn't go out, and then now it's like, do I really want to go out? Because I don't know if I want to, like, I hate freaking, I'm kind of like a hermit crab. Like, I say hi, or talk to people when we're out and about, but I'd rather just be sitting at my damn Herman Miller playing some video games, bro.
Herman Miller.
Herman Miller, if you're watching this, brother, send me and Mighty some freaking chairs.
Yes, please do. Okay, a couple more questions. I'll let you go, Max. Max, the amazing fight against Ricardo Lamas. You're piecing him up. And then you're famous for you doing this.
Yeah, pointing down. Yes, sir.
Okay, pointing down. First off, when I was watching it, I was like, okay, I guess Max is pissed off. He's telling him to throw down, and then he's mad. They just fought for 2 rounds, and now I guess he's pissed off. Now he wants to fight. What through your mind when you did that,
brother? I was like, You know what I mean? Like I felt like I love Ricardo, but I felt like I was just up. Like, I felt like, brother, that guy. I'm doing this, and he was supposed to be the guy that was like supposed to like into that fight. If you watch, he's like Ricardo was going to be the guy that was going to like expose my wrestling and expose my striking and blah 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 and do this and do that and take me down. And I was going to have a horrible time with him. I probably get submitted. So when I went out there, I was doing my thing, and I felt like, oh great, like like I wasn't like. I was like tagging him and hitting him, but then I would like we'd get into scuffles and whatever. So like I was in a fight, you know what I mean? Like we was fighting. Yeah, I was giving him opportunities, and then in the third round, he like at the ending in like the last minute, bro, you can watch. Like he goes like come on. I was like, oh, this guy, he like there's no way. And then like another time it's like he missed. I made him miss, and he goes like that again. And then I was like, what the? I was in my mind, like, are you serious? I'm just like, I was like, brother, like, why are you getting mad? You know what I mean? And then the last, he did something, like, he said something again before the 10 seconds was up. Or like right before the 10 seconds, like he does a gesture, like, come to me, like, I want to fight. I was like, okay. I was like, okay. I would say no more, brother. You know what I mean? Like, we go right here. And we just throw it out. You know what I mean? I didn't care. I was like, I felt like anybody can get caught in any situation, you know, in any fight. But I felt like I took some of his hard punches. And I was like, brother, if you want to go, we can go, you know. And now it's like my logo now actually is the. You ever saw my logo? It's actually that from that moment. So if you look at it, it looks like a fist pointing down. Right? But if you look at it, it's MH, so it's from there. So it's funny that you asked about shoes and in this, because we actually got the logo and the inspiration from Jordan. You know, Jordan's dunk, his dunk logo. And that's what I was like, bro, we need a moment, because everybody got like MH logos. Like yours is cool. Yours is like the mouse, and the Mighty Gaming one is super sick, right? Yeah, because you actually put some effort, because everybody in their mama did this, like using their initials and just being like, you know, this is my logo. But like, I wanted something like iconic, and when people see it, they feel a certain way, you know. And if they didn't, somebody would tell them this story of like, oh look, Max did this and the point down and whatever, so they can feel the logo, you know. And that's what my logo is about. So it's that if you ever see my logo, it's that you can see M8 but then it's a finger, and that's what it is. It's for that iconic moment, you know, like when everybody see the logo now, it's like, holy shit, that's when Max did the Ricardo Wildness, you know.
They can relate it to that. Yeah. I loved it. It's great. It cracked me up. So I'm like, oh, here he goes. He's fucking into it. So now everybody's like, was Max going to point down? He's going to point down. Is he mad? But the fact that he pissed you up, he goes, come on, come to me. He goes, oh, okay, you can have it.
Bro,
Here it comes.
I was like, bro, go watch the fight, bro. And then the ending of it is he does it 3 times, bro. I was like, you know, one time I let it go. 2 times, like, really? Yeah. And then 3rd time is like, brother, we can get all the smoke, brother. I don't care. Meet me in the middle. We're gonna do it, you know. And I was just tripping in my mind, bro. I thought I was fighting a clean fight, a great fight, and I was just like, I was like, bro, I gave you a lot of opportunities to punch me in the face. What? Why now? You know. So that was it.
I love that. It's almost like you get into a fight with somebody for 15 minutes, and after the fight, it's like, you piece of shit, you suck my da, 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 da. It's like, now you want to fight? Yeah. I'm so confused, because we just fought for 15 minutes and now you want to fight? Like, bro,
the funniest one is that McConnell one, bro. The one who was like, he's like, sorry, brother. So he tapped him out, and he's like, sorry, brother. Sorry, brother. I wanted it to go longer. He's like, then why you tap me out?
You tapped me out.
Oh, that was the funniest clip ever. I was like, brother, that's so cool.
Oh, I know. He goes, sorry, man. I wanted to fight some more. What? I think that was that a Marciano, right?
Yeah. Marciano, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know the guy who tapped him out. But yeah, I remember that he was like, I wanted to fight more. And he goes, why'd you tap me out? And it's like, I don't know, but it is. Oh my God, Max. Thank you so much for giving your time, man.
Thank you, brother.
I'm super excited. I'm super excited to see this next chapter in your career of, you know, taking on Justin Gaethje. I think it's a great fight. I think you do very well. You're doing the right things. You got the right mindset. You've always had the right mindset. I never worried about you when you go and fight. like you're very good about. The only thing I was like, what the fuck, is like when you fought Alex Volkanovski, and I'm like, Max gonna piece him up. Max has better footwork. He's way longer. He's more rangier. That was probably the only time I was like, what just happened here? I don't understand how he get outstruck.
He's like 74.
Are you serious?
Bro, Mighty. They call him the fucking T-Rex of the featherweights, brother. Do you not know this? You cannot tell. I'm the T-Rex, brother. Everybody, I don't have a race advantage, bro. My race advantage is 69, bro. Alex Volkanovski's one is like 73.
I think I'm at 72. I think I might.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, you're long as shit. What the hell? You're not even. Why are you so long? Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Hey, I'm gonna see what wingspan is now. We're running real quick. I gotta take a look. This is fucking hilarious. I did not know that. Hang on, Demetrious Johnson.
My leg reach is what everybody, but I like boxing.
I'm at fuck. What is it? You cracking me the fuck up.
See,
my reach.
You're like a velociraptor, bro. They got long arms, right?
Yeah.
You're like the
I do have long arms for my weight class.
Yeah. What is it?
Arm reach. Yeah.
I think you're 71, bro, and a half. I think I saw it.
No, I'm 66.
66.
That's what it says. It says reach is 66.
Yeah, but then okay, what is 66 for your height? Does it match?
I'm not sure.
So like mine's is 69, right? I'm 6 feet, bro. I'm 5'11". You know what I mean? I say 6 feet. I say 6 feet because I'm close enough.
I'm 5'3" and I'm at 66. So you got 3 inches on me, and you have
brother. I'm 6 feet, right, or 5'11", whatever you want to call.
Yeah.
And my arm reach is like a 5'9" guy. I'm a T-Rex, bro. I'm a fucking. I should start walking out to the freaking octagon like this, bro.
It's like,
bro, I'm the T-Rex of the division, bro. Everybody give me a hard time about it, but it is what it is. They, bro. Yeah. You know, with the Alex fight, they had great game plans, every single one. You know, so at the end of the day, it is what it is. Hopefully they figure out what they're gonna do with Topuria. I get the next shot if it's him, if it's Topuria, if it's Topuria, I handle business. Bro, you're gonna see a fucking Holloway versus Volkanovski 4. I'm not gonna retire. Even if it's like me and him is like Jake Paul in it and we find it on Netflix 20 years from now, we're doing it. You know what I mean? That's just something that needs to be done. Nah, I'm just joking, bro. Nothing but love for that guy, and nothing but love for you, brother. Thank you for having me on, and it's always great talking to you, bro. It's one of the freaking funniest ones I had in a while.
Absolutely, man. And where can people find you before I let you go? I know you got the kick. I know I've been seeing you putting the work on YouTube. Yeah. I watched your last reaction. Yeah. So let people know where they can find you, man.
I'm over on YouTube, Max Holloway, kick.com/Max Holloway, IG @BlessMMA, and X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, @BlessMMA, guys. You know, so we're there. I'm streaming daily on Kick all the time. So come say hi, and then we're dropping a YouTube video every Friday for the next couple of weeks until UFC 300, the road to 300. So make sure you guys check out the YouTube at Max Holloway. And yeah, I mean, if anything, just follow @BlessMMA on IG. I always tweet out or put in my stories of where you can find me and what I'm doing.
Boom. Love it. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the episode of the MIGHTYcast, a blessed one, Max Holloway. Make sure you follow him on YouTube, on Kick, and all the social media. He's got a big fight against Justin Gaethje, UFC 300. I'm your host, Demetrious Johnson. Co-host is still in Thailand doing his thing. And we will see you guys at the next one. Cheer! Well, damn. Don't leave, Max. Don't leave.
Thank you, brother. Hey, brother.
Oh, my God, dog. Hey, brother, that was fucking amazing.
I'm telling you right now, bro. I didn't want to say it. I know you're recording. You can have it later on.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. All right. We just got done doing the podcast with Max Holloway. And, man, I knew this was going to be a good one. I knew it was, because Max is just humble, class act guy. Even at time we hung out in Hawaii on his beach, it was Max Holloway Day, and he had the whole beach to himself in Hawaii. You know, the biggest thing, you know, that I love about Max's career is that he's always stayed humble, and he puts himself in the fire to be able to land the shot. And does he get hit a lot? I don't think he does, and he does it, but it's fighting, right? Like, it's okay to get hit if you're going to give another hit that's going to put the person out. right? And the fact that he has the reach of a gentleman who's like 5'7" or 5'9", and he's like 6'2", it's kind of shocking. He calls himself the T-Rex of the featherweight division. I've always thought he had the longer reach against him and Alex Volkanovski, but I guess I was wrong about that. And his mindset on the whole ilia topuria, Alex Volkanovski, and him going to the fight Justin Gaethje, I think that's the perfect way to look at it, right? Like, a lot of people might think he's wasting his time. A lot of the guys in his same sport in mixed martial arts think that the fight doesn't make sense, but honestly, he's right. Nothing ever makes sense in mixed martial arts. A guy can come off a loss and get a world title fight, where in mixed martial arts or any sport, the only way you get a world title fight is if you're like ranked 5 or 6, wins in a row. I think the only other sport where you can win a world title or championship is like NFL, and you have the horrible, you go 6-6 in the regular season, and then you go in the playoffs and you win every single playoff, and then you get the championship. So I think him having a mindset that, you're not guaranteed a title shot in this sport is smart, because it almost kind of gives him the opportunity to look at Justin Gaethje and this opportunity to become the BMF, and which fact he will only be, if he beats Justin Gaethje, he will only be the undisputed lightweight champion and featherweight champion and undisputed BMF. There's only been a couple guys who've been able to hold that title, and Max Holloway is the first one to fight for it, and has also achieved championship level in featherweight division in UFC. So really enjoy it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below if you enjoyed this interview with Max Holloway. I cannot wait. He's going to come back on, whether he wins or lose. And I can't wait to chat with him, and I can't wait to be able to hang out with him when I go to Hawaii. So aloha, and hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace.